What's up, nerd family? We are live, and it is almost time for the start of The Flash. Welcome to everyone. Get this started here and get this adjusted. Well, it's starting right now, just in time.
How do you feel?
Oh, yeah, she got shot by the mirror gun.
Okay.
Yep.
Welcome to the team, Camilla. Your creation was unplanned, but I know you'll make a useful addition.
Where's my counterpart?
She's no longer a problem now. I don't have much time before Iris realizes I'm gone, so listen to me, this
What
is
in the
important.
world?
6 years ago, I created a device capable of converting light into energy. I called it the prismatic refractor. It looked like this. I need you to retrieve it for me.
Oh, that's how she got stuck.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
It's a replica. I made it here in the Mirrorverse, but my Arkham rejected it. I believe it needs the original in order to function.
What's the Arkham?
Thing that will ensure the success of my long-term plans. Where do we start? My husband, Joseph, underestimated the value of the reflector and sold it to Mercury Labs.
That makes sense.
Hey, Riley.
Find a way in. You replace the replica out with the original and you bring it to me. Do not let me down. Success is assured. Sure.
Every quantum kinematic database on the planet. You know what I found out about artificial speed forces?
You don't have to go now.
Dawn built one, and that's it. And I doubt he's gonna tell us, seeing how he's Linda Blair'd our pal Nash, and, you know, he kind of wants to murder the hell out of us.
If Dawn can figure it out, then so can we.
In the meantime, we need to make sure the Flash doesn't lose his powers. The Speed Force may be gone, but there's still a residual amount of speed left in your DNA.
Until we figure out how much, we need to manage your speed output.
How do we do that?
I call it the speed gauge.
It will measure the intensity of the velocity you're using by color. So right now, it's black. That's neutral. Means you're not using any speed at all. If you're using a minimal amount, that's green. The yellow is next, then orange, and obviously red is the maximum amount. At this point, I don't recommend operating beyond green. And we're not just talking about running, okay? Speed thinking,
Speed healing.
flash time, all of these things could deplete your meta abilities. You have to be careful.
Guys, that's not that simple.
Just pop some popcorn. Anybody want some?
Team Flash, it's your pal Nash. Let me out!
Guys, are we sure that's Nash?
Or Thorn playing possum.
Let's find out. Here, you got an update for me on the Carver RICO investigation.
Just sifting through the paperwork, I found evidence of multiple cover-ups, homicides being filed as accidents, missing person cases, buried by falsified paperwork, and every victim has one thing in common.
You think Carver has a mole inside CCPD?
Somebody's been helping him evade criminal charges. The question is why?
This is outstanding work, Joe, but investigating a mole, that's a job for internal affairs, not for us.
We can't trust IA or anybody until we find out who Carver's boss. I mean, Larry agrees.
Hold on. Flash has seen these files?
Yeah.
Joe, this is not matter-related business. Is there a chance that this is becoming personal? I mean, I would totally understand given what Carver's done to Iris.
This is still about bringing a criminal to justice.
And we will. But Joe, this is your first year as captain. If your people think you suspect one of them of being a mole, and you're wrong.
Have a look.
So this
Fix
Thawne
it.
got the red eyes and vibrates, but he's also a Wells.
Yeah, that's him. How did you?
I've been seeing a lot of Wells lately. I mean,
They don't know that they're not
up here, a lot. I don't know how many there are, but Wizard Wells, annoying French Wells, New York City Wells, Actually, he's all right. And then
Wait,
Harry was.
Nash, Harry's dead.
I know that was.
They're all dead.
Hey guys, I think you should see this.
Oh.
Let's go. Come on. God, let me out.
At first glance, Nash's brainwaves seem totally normal. No anomalies or inconsistencies. But when I take a look at them in 3D, it appears that there are multiple brainwaves intricately tangled together.
When the multiverse collapsed in Crisis, all of the Welleses must have channeled into the only surviving doppelganger.
Multiple psyches camped out in Nash's brain. It's like Tyler Durden times 1,000.
Tyler Durden, great reverence. First rule of Fight Club.
Can we not talk about Fight Club?
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty good.
How many Wells are we talking about here?
How many universes were there in the multiverse?
What?
Wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, Thawne wasn't even a real Wells. He killed Harrison Wells, took over his body, and fooled us for months.
This is the psychopath we're talking about that's trying to take over my body. Let's get him out before he resurfaces. Come on.
And there's no medical procedure or device that
Yeah,
could
right.
separate brainwaves.
Not on this stupid earth, there's not. But hello, multiversal traveler, anyone? Right? I have a neural splicer here in my bag. Can you get it, please? We'll work just fine. Actually, help me out and stop an invasion of psychic starfish on Earth 26. Yeah, that's it. That was not pretty. Although,
That kind of
to be honest, I don't know if this splicer can separate thousands of brainwaves all at once.
It will be when we supercharge it with the EMP from your gauntlet.
Yes.
He's natural brings all.
Yes, the gauntlet, yes. Make sure that when you charge the EMP, that it's 1,500 volts per minute, otherwise you risk...
I know. Otherwise, I'll fry the circuitry. I got it.
Cisco, wait.
As it goes, snaps and brings back all the wells. Daddy. What you got there?
Oh, that didn't
That
work.
was Thawne the whole
From the
time.
gauntlet.
He couldn't have gotten far. He doesn't have the powers, so he can't time travel.
Yes, he can.
Look at us, Flash. Two peas in a pod, just two speedsters frustrated by the limits of their speed.
Andrew, we're Eastern Standard Time in
No one
Michigan.
is gonna get his speed back. And when I do,
What's up, Ethan
I gain
Skywalker?
control of this body. When I reconnect to my speed force, you're gonna be too weak to stop me, aren't you? Just like you were powerless to save your daughter. My little runner. Nora was never
There's
yours.
one higher from the speed force he's using.
I wonder how much speed we have left after I'm gone.
Harry, no!
He was gonna kill him.
That's it. That's not, or not pause it, but I'm going to make.
Mute it.
Yeah, mute it, because I'm going to make popcorn.
All right, take a break. I gotta go get a charger so I can actually talk in the chat.
So, every version of Wells ever in the multiverse before Crisis
Thank you. Where are they?
is in Nash's body. Because Caitlin said there's multiple brainwaves. And then Cisco asked, well, how many versions of, like, Earth were there? So, pretty much asking how many Earths were there in the multiverse.
Sorry.
So it sounds like every Wells ever is in Nash. I'm thinking, I have a prediction for this episode.
Prediction?
Yep.
What's your prediction before it?
By the end of the episode, Cisco's gonna use his powers and accidentally bring the real Iris out of the mirror.
Accidentally?
Yeah, or he's gonna see the real Iris in the mirror dimension.
Okay.
And he's gonna realize that the Iris that's out right now walking around is not the real Iris.
Barry?
No, Cisco.
Oh, okay,
Cisco's gonna use
gotcha.
his powers to figure that out, and that's gonna be the thing, is he's gonna try and tell Barry that's not the actual Iris. And Joe's gonna be telling Barry that's not the actual Iris, but Barry's so caught up on Eobard that he's not gonna believe them. So at the end of the season, he's gonna have to fight Eobard and Mirror Master.
Okay,
That's my guess.
that's your guess?
Yeah.
I think that's a good guess.
Let me see. Read these comments.
I'm getting my glasses so my eyes don't kill me tonight, and then.
I might actually need to put mine on now because I can't really read the comments from over here. Fucking what a movie.
And last but not least, would you want to throw this back for girls?
Like what a movie was movie to another date to the stupid coronavirus. Never am mad about it. I think it's pretty cool to see reverse flashback. Yeah, I saw that, Ethan. That a bunch of movies are getting pushed back or delayed because of this. But I don't know. One thing I know some theaters are doing is once they have sold half of their tickets for that theater, they consider themselves full. So I don't know if now they're closing all of them or if they reach like a quarter. If they sell a quarter of their tickets, then they consider themselves full. Hey guys, I'm locked down too. Some places we are. Like Logan, Landon, and I can't go back to school until the 6th here in Michigan. We see it's back.
This. Again. Should have known supercharging the EMP would cause a recoil loop.
Don always has a backup plan.
I checked the footage. Thawne only went to the Archives, nowhere else. How's Nash?
Better, now that you're not trying to kill him.
Are you really gonna do it?
I don't know.
Nash needs help, not maiming. You can't be here, Barry.
Why not?
Because your speed gauge registered a massive loss of speed, which means not only just using your powers affected, but so does your anger.
Okay, then I'll be fine. Right? And if I need more speed, I'll use a booster like Velocity X.
Oh, great. So you're just going to start taking speed steroids now? Barry, every test we've run says that physiologically you have changed drastically. So we have no idea what Velocity X would do to you. It could hurt you. It could hurt others.
Other people are already hurt. I mean, we have no idea what Thawne is doing to Nash right now.
And he could do even more damage to you if he gets under your skin again.
This is hard for you. But you need to leave. You can't trust yourself around him.
Velocity 9. Setting up for, what's his name? Godspeed.
Okay, got your message about Thawne, so I brought,
I didn't inspire that cut.
garlic, wooden steak,
One of them was more broken.
salt, obviously, and Ouija board.
Cecile.
It's an exorcism. It's not like we can be too prepared.
This isn't some kind of vampire demon. This is something else.
Oh my God. Everything that Nash is feeling inside is still just
Raw hatred.
What we think of as Thawne is actually just a series of negative tachyons inside Nash's body. So we gotta hit him with positive tachyons to force Thawne out. That's why we need PTD, or the positive tachyon device, and not a Ouija board. No offense.
Okay, so what do you need me for?
You're gonna be my Thawne detector. I need you to psychically monitor Nash and tell me when he's free from Thawne's influence. You think you can handle it?
After what Thawne did to the people that we love? Hell yeah.
What's up, Mark?
What's going on, Mark?
Hey! Earth 719, 8 years ago.
Hey, kid, how'd you get in here? How'd you get past my security drone? All right. Who are you? What's your
What
name?
was that
It's
younger
Maya.
Deborah?
You actually got it. No one's ever pulled the blood bloom out of the wallet's mouth before.
Yeah, right. Well, the wallet, kid, it's just a statue rigged by the locals, that's all.
I know.
You do?
You gonna get the treasure out of the bloom?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the treasure out of the bloom. You mean the crystals?
No, I mean the treasure
There's no treasure.
inside.
I don't know what the heck.
This? It's worth 3 times more than those dumb crystals.
I'm impressed, kid. But you broke one of the rules. You see, you never give anybody anything unless you get something in return.
Nice hat.
make sure you tell him you earned it.
I don't have parents. Not anymore.
You do now.
Maya. How'd you like to do what I do?
What's that?
Myth busting. Archaeological. Myth busting, that's what all this is for. You like the sound
Indiana
of that?
Jones in.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'd be good at it. And rule number 1. The price is everything.
Once in a while they do.
The prize is everything. Easy peasy.
Cisco, Nash is hurting. What's happening?
What's that?
Not sure. It's my first exorcism.
Thanks, Alan.
Welcome to Routh. I can't be here. Too late.
It's been brought up in Nash. It's overwhelming him.
That's how Thorn gains his strength. He feeds on that pain.
He's feasting on Nash. From what we've heard at the Citizen, Mercury Labs is making massive developments in clean energy.
We are, and Dr. McGee is thrilled to speak to you about it. If you'll wait right here, I'll go grab her.
Thank you.
Ooh, Dr. McGee.
Is that the one that was brought in to,
According to my readings, the prismatic refractor is
Another light basement. Must be one of Carver's. Means he's after the refractor too. We gotta get out of here.
the refractor. Give a sec.
Thank you, Ray.
set up back in the weird
Let the flash handle this one.
So I'm at a Roderick Mercury Labs.
Okay, I'll meet you there.
No, Faust and I can handle this. You need to stay here and conserve your speed. Doctor's orders.
Okay, then.
Doctor's orders.
How's she gonna get there?
Put that down. Not happening. Fine. Have it your way.
Did she breach there?
So you are the Ice Queen, huh?
What do they call you?
What?
Call me Sunshine.
and they're gonna show you someone messed up. We're gonna pregnant over here. Hi, Crystal.
I still have this candle.
Don't worry, this won't take long.
Got your light sensor and drawings. Going around black hole is you're quite a badass. You could have been one of us.
I really
They were
hope-
trying so hard to cover that baby bump.
I
I'm sorry.
really hope that she breached there. Because otherwise that didn't make any sense. And they didn't show her breaching there. She almost breached. So, I'm
Tanya
sure.
Lewis just said, "Why are you not showing the TV?"
Hey, Tanya, good to have you. Because this is a watch party, and unfortunately, if we show the TV and show the episode ourselves on our channel, we'll get a copyright strike. Trust me, it's happened before in the past, and that's why we do it as a watch party where we can watch The Flash with our subs. That's kind of how this started. We used to just do a review, and then a lot of people who came and watched our reviews, they really liked them, and so they said, hey, can we just watch it with you at the same time? We can all react to it at the same time and watch it together. And we said, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. And so that's what we do now. And so we do this every Tuesday night. We do this with this show and a few other shows as well. And but if we show it 1 week, we tested it. because people kept, oh, you can just show something, because it was right before Crisis on Infinite Earths, and there we showed the trailer for Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was like 2 weeks before Crisis. We showed just the trailer.
No, it was 3 weeks because it was 21.
That's right, it was 3 weeks. That's right. It was 3 weeks before there, and we showed one of the trailers for the next episode, and we got hit with a copyright strike. And so we got out of that, fortunately, because of what it was. But it was like in one of those automatic things.
Because it got lifted like 2 days before Crisis.
Yep, that it picked up on, and you know, usually if we get a copyright claim because of the audio, they always dismiss it because of the fact that we're not showing this. We're just doing it as a watch party. And so we understand if you can't see it where you're at, depending upon where you're at in the world, maybe, you know, there are different things that you can do. We've actually hooked other people up here. If you're in a different part of the world, you can actually get a VPN and what was it? I can't remember the guy's name who did it right now.
William knew, but he's not on right now, is he?
I don't think so. But so, anyways, if you're in a different, Tanya, we do it live because that's what we do here. We have fun, and sorry if you can't see it, but that's not what this is. So we watch it live with our subs because that's what we were asked to do. And we have fun around here, and that's what we do here at the channel. So it's one of the many things that we do here at the channel. We talk about all kinds of nerdy stuff, all kinds of DC news and toys and movies and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm sorry that that we can't show you, but we don't own it, so we can't show it to you. We watch it live because we watch it with our other friends here through the channel. So, Tanya, I can't speak for other YouTubers. I mean, we were down for 2 weeks. Literally, we could not live stream for 2 weeks in October to November.
Yep.
And I had to fight a copyright strike. So,
I love Mark. He says they own 2 dogs, though, so we get to see lots of them.
there you go. So, I mean, I can only tell you from our experience, there are literally millions of channels, and, you know, they're not going to hit every single one of them, obviously. I can't speak for why some other channel didn't get a copyright strike or doesn't get a copyright claim on theirs. We go weeks sometimes without a copyright claim on content for things like trailer reaction videos and, you know, and audio and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden we'll go through like a thing where we're getting them every video, you know, and we got to fight them over and over again. But after that copyright strike especially, we don't even mess with it anymore. Like there's been a couple of times where we showed stuff or whatever, you know, when we do our trailer reaction videos, we post that because it's different. If we show this in different parts of the world, I don't know where you're at. Not of this, because we won't go back and show this. Are you in a different part of the world, Tanya? Where are you at, Tanya? All right, Mark. I mean, because depending upon where you're at in the world, you can either watch it on the CW app. It's back on. Or you can get a VPN, and you can watch it anywhere in the world, literally.
Assassins, all of them are under Carver's payroll.
Each one more powerful than the last. Sunshine reopened, Frost swooned from Dr. Light's photon bullet. Her ice healing's working overtime. This is my fault. I just listened to Caitlin and stayed behind.
Hey, you had a glitch in your speed back there, didn't you?
I used Velocity X to boost my powers,
Yes,
but my body
Mark.
rejected it. Caitlin warned me it could happen.
Look, I know you don't like taking a back seat, but until
That's
you
what,
combine your powers, Barry,
I know I have to be more careful.
What is it in the U.S.?
Do we know anything about
If
Sunshine?
you're in the U.S.,
only that she can disappear
you
in
can
some
either
way
watch it
that
live on the
looks
CW.
Her name is Millie
I
Rollins.
don't know where in the U.S. you are.
Military
We're
photo before we got out
in
of
the eastern
Mercury
part. We're in
Labs. We ran
Michigan.
it through Starlab's facial recognition and got a
You
hit.
can either
at the
watch it
Department
live
of
on the
Defense
CW,
Studies.
ex-military.
or if you're in a different time zone than
She
us,
was
you
transferred
can watch
to
it
covert
in
division
the right time zone
for
with you.
cellular explosion left her with the
Or
ability
you
to
can
emit
watch it on the
sunlight.
CW app,
Outside
which
of
is
sunshine.
absolutely free.
Do we know what she was after?
Yeah. Mercury Labs says it's a one-of-a-kind advanced energy converter. It used to be owned by McCulloch Technologies. They're calling it a prismatic refractor.
Carver was stealing his own technology. Why?
We don't know why yet. I'm glad you two are okay.
Oh, sorry. My reporter brain.
Hey, the Raptor.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yep, you're watching it right now.
Shouldn't that thing be at CCPD and evidence lockup?
Well, if Carver's trying to get this, we can't risk his mole gaining access. I put in a call to Argus. Until they have it in their custody, I'm not letting it out of my sight.
Well, we could keep it here at Star Labs for the time being.
If Sunshine is as ruthless as Dr. Light and Ultraviolet, then she's coming after that refractor.
Tanya,
again,
you would be
if
in the
she shows
Eastern
up at Star Labs.
time zone, so you should be able to find it on the
Flash is
CW
gonna
unless you don't have a CW affiliate.
Let Argus take it.
Barry is right about Sunshine. What if she strikes during the transfer to Argus?
Let me worry about that. Go see after your husband.
Yeah, of course I was just about to.
She seems jealous saying the decision's not right.
You want to get away?
I just need a place to think.
Look, I know losing your speed is scary, especially with Dawn showing up. But Barry, the man that I love, would not let limits keep him from doing what he does best. Taking down metas and protecting people.
The Flash isn't supposed to have limits, Iris.
Believe me, guys, if we could, we would. Well, we don't own the content, so we can't.
If Dawn gets his powers back, I won't be able to stop him. Just like I can't stop Sunshine.
Well, maybe the Flash can't stop them, but Barry Allen can. I mean, so what the Flash can't run as fast as he used to? Barry Allen was taking down villains long before the Flash came along. Barry, you were just as much of a hero as the Flash. That's why the city gave you the Medal of Honor. I mean, are you really gonna let CCPD handle Sunshine by themselves?
I don't see how I can help them without my speed.
Barry, it's like you're stuck on this idea that the Flash is supposed to be limitless, but
What's up, Dark Tasty?
metas are the ones that have limits. I mean, think about it. Where would the Ringmaster be without his rings? Or Cicada without that dagger? Even Reverse Flash and Sunshine, they have their limits. We just have to figure out what they are.
We talk about it throughout the episode. So- and after.
Sunshine.
After this is done, we talk about the entire episode.
I have to find Joe.
And a bunch of other nerdy stuff that's happened this week. We call it Talk Nerdy to Me. We do a whole segment afterwards. We do a review, we talk about the episode and everything else.
Hey, Camilla. I know where their factory's going. Get ready to move fast.
So sorry.
Why are you keeping me here? Alex, for your memories, Nash. I plumbed your depths. Came up with this little show. It's awful. Isn't it? It's dark. It's negative. Maya, with the overachiever. Right? Perfect employee. Real. Go get her. When she went to go get the sonic emitter on the top of the highest peak, Corto Maltese, remember that? And plucked that, so determined to get the emitter. Because after all, the prize is everything. Isn't it? Want out of this memory? Be my guest. You want to leave this memory? Why? Did something happen? It's not my fault. It was not my fault. It was not my fault. It was not my fault.
We just might, Dark Tasty.
She died. It's not my fault. It was all your fault. It was her fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
I don't understand. I've got the PTDs on full blast. Dawn's negative tachyon should be destabilizing, but the neuron data isn't showing any resistance. If anything, the energy's intensifying.
What the hell is he doing in there?
I can barely even feel Nash anymore. I just...
All I think we will do for the rest of this season.
And shame all around me. I can't barely take it.
Nice.
Good timing.
Please don't hold me.
just knock him out then.
What the hell just happened?
The phone just connected to my speaker. If that happens again, we lose Nash forever. And our first Flash lives again.
Guess what? My theory's gonna happen this episode.
All right,
Like,
so we
I was
got.
way off.
So we've
Well, no, I
got
think it'll still happen, but it's not this episode.
Reverse Flash. Is trying to take over Nash's body.
It's like both of them are in his conscious, fighting for control of
Yep.
the body.
Yep, they're fighting for control of Nash's body. And
Tanya says, do you think, though, that Reverse Flash is the main villain of this season?
I love Reverse Flash, and I always loved when Reverse Flash is the main villain. They only have, what?
Here, what's the next episode?
15. So there's only like
15. So
7 episodes left.
Oh.
yeah.
If Reverse Flash isn't the main villain of this season, you'd have to set up a villain and do all that, which I feel like they're setting up Reverse Flash to be the main focus by the end of the season. But I do have a feeling, though, by the end of the season, though, Godspeed is going to play a part back in it.
What about the Mirror Master?
No, I think
Mirror Master is kind of a
think it's-
side thing
I
that I think is going to come into play by the
I
end.
think I know what they're gonna do next season.
What?
Reverse Flash and the Rogues.
Ooh.
Or Reverse Flash and the Rogues.
They mentioned that with.
And each of the people in Black Hole are gonna end up joining Reverse Flash and it's be Reverse Flash.
Because
and all
she
people.
said word in the black hole, or in the. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because once Mirror Master's
Ross.
out, we'll have Mirror Master. Now we have Sunshine. Who else do we have? That assassin. We haven't seen her in a while.
Assassin?
That one that had that gun that would like pretty much turn anything to dust.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen her in a while. And apparently there's still more people in Black Hole.
Mm.
So that's kind of my guess is next season. That's what they're setting up
Because
now.
when that chick that was going against Frost said word in the black hole is you could have been, a really good person on our side, so who else is over there?
It's a good question. Reverse Flash hasn't killed anybody yet. He's trying to kill.
He's trying to take over Nash's
He's trying to take over Nash's body, Nash Wells,
Is it
because all the wells are within Nash.
And it sounds like on one expedition that he went on with
It's like Star Wars. I am all the wells.
with that version of Allegra, which I can't remember what.
Mia.
Mia.
With Mia, then Mia died.
Or Maya. Mia is
Maya.
Arrow's daughter. Is it sounds like
Mia, Maya, it's the same thing.
Well,
Potato, potato.
it
You
sounds-
say Mia, and I say Maya.
Well, it sounds like Maya died on one of the expeditions because Nash said it's not my fault. And he kept on saying that before Eobard took over.
Alright, we're back.
Arcus secure transport should be here any minute, Captain.
Good job, Cobra. Let me know as soon as they land. Thanks.
Hey, Captain. I understand you're moving that thing out of CCPD custody. I'm here to oversee the transfer.
Really, why?
How much you want to bet he's in the mirror too?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I did a little lunchtime reading as you suggested.
Because he's been gone this whole time, and now all of a sudden he just
I
pops
agree
out.
with you. But I think Cobra has someone on the inside. And we need to investigate this ourselves.
Thank you, David.
And I picked the right man to lead this precinct.
Yep.
They're here. He's loading dock.
Let's roll.
All right.
Yeah, there's something ain't right about him.
She looks like she could be Captain Marvel's daughter.
Thank you for coming, gentlemen. All set?
All set, Chief.
It is.
You've been rainbowed. I think by next season we'll see
No
Red
one else
Death.
has to burn, gents. Just turn over the refractor.
Come on, girls, maybe it would be better. I'll be the hottest let everything be said. Now, yeah.
setting her up.
Come out, wherever you are.
Right there, baby.
Really trouble with something.
Oh, that's right. Good job.
You're heliokinetic, so without access to sunlight, you're just an ordinary thief. Lemons suck, don't they?
So, my house is clear. The refractor's safe and sound with August.
You sure you're okay, Chief? Yeah, I got a hard head. Just ask my husband.
Right now,
Hey, Joe, what if Sunshine was our mole? No one would have seen her doctor those files.
She is the perfect invisible.
Iris is in the mirror.
Look, if we pin her
Who's the other girl?
down here,
Cisco's girlfriend. I can never remember her
building
name.
Carver's
Again,
Rico
it's
case.
just not in the mirror. She's just agreed to do it.
No, you go ahead. I have
What?
something
That
else
was
I have
her
to take
agreement
care
to
of.
get out of the mirror. That's why she's not performing.
Why isn't this working?
Those tachyons are proliferating at a rate that exceeds the PTD's
The one that's out right
capabilities.
now is the one
So
that
it's
got
just a matter of
shot.
time before Thawne takes over Nash's body.
What happens to Nash? And to the other Wellses?
They'll be in a living hell. Trapped inside Thawne's psyche forever. They'll be able to siphon their knowledge. If he gets loose, we can't risk him having Nash's mind and his gadgets. We have to destroy these.
Is that a Allegra?
No, it's a doppelganger. Maybe that's why Nash hung around so much. It's like it reminds him of someone he knew.
Everything that he's been feeling, all of his emotions, they remind me of how I feel when I think about Joni or Jenna. It's almost parental. But it's not just that. It's mixed with the feeling that I had in '95 when my mom passed away. Grief. Oh God, Cisco. I think that Nash is caught up in a loop, and it's made out of remorse and sadness.
Negativity.
I think that Allegra's doppelganger died.
What could be more painful than the loss of a child? Still, if you're right, then Thawne is holding Nash in the memory of her death.
That's why Nash has to be the one to expel Thawne. We're gonna help him.
The man 2.0.
We used it to get inside the Thinker's mind. This time we're going inside Nash's. And together we'll force Thawne out. From the inside.
Look, I got a mini Xbox controller.
But you can't shorten the Series X because we know what that does.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No cut on to until now. Still seen a Switch Force posted every day, but they didn't. The last one was from 2 hours ago.
Hey, the Raptor. The only thing I could say is you can watch it. I mean, you're only an hour behind us.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Caleb?
What's up, Caleb? You're only an hour behind us, so I mean, if you have a CW affiliate, you'll be able to watch it in literally 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If not, then you can either watch it for free after midnight on the CW
Website or app.
Tanya's got a good idea.
What's that?
Tanya says, I think Mirror Master is a villain that CW wants you to think like male Cicada in season 5, but the villain is Godspeed, and he will appear at the last episode as the main villain. To set up next.
I think Godspeed's going to play a role. I also, though,
She was back in episode 18.
I think at some point we're going to see Red Death here pretty soon. Couple of different reasons. One, because they've set him up a lot. Also, you know McFarlane Toys?
Mm-hmm.
So, for those of you who've been around the channel, we're big toy collectors. I'm a big toy collector, a little bit. Anyways, so all the new McFarlane DC Multiverse toys, the first wave had 2 different Batman figures, had a Batgirl figure, had a Nightwing figure, had a Harley Quinn figure, so it was very heavy on Batman centric.
Mm-hmm.
The next wave is even heavier on Batman. They're doing all the heavy
Said
metal.
Harley Quinn and she looked out.
Yeah, they're doing all the heavy metal Batman figures. Okay, so we're getting like all those different Batman characters, including Red Death, and there's a Flash coming out as well. Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling at some point we're going to see Red Death on this show, whether or not it's Bruce Wayne, or I think it is going to, since they just went ahead and they talked about some different things having to do with Batman and everything like that. I think they're just going to go ahead and it's going to be a version of Bruce Wayne, but we'll probably never see his face. Or if we do see his face, it'll be something to do with what's his name, Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Caleb says, "Hey Isaac, do you have a Minecraft? And if so, what's your username?"
Let me look that up real quick. Let me look up what my username is. Well, no, if it's connected
Isaac
to my...
and Logan have one.
If it's connected to my... Because it's connected to my Xbox account, so it would just be Isaac Wankanobi.
There you go.
No spaces, all lowercase. I'll double check though.
No hyphen?
No. I think it's just...
Tanya says Red Death is the villain of season 7 because Batgirl and the Flash could team like Oliver did.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's definitely possible.
In my opinion, I don't think we'll get Red Death until we get Batman and Batwoman if we do.
Hey, shush.
Or if we do, it'll be closer to the end of the Flash, like the series. That's just my thought.
I'm catching up on Legends and Batgirl. Cause...
But I definitely think we're going to see Godspeed sooner than later.
Yeah, we get him in episode 18.
Whatever that is. Are
That's
you wearing headphones?
That's when he comes back.
Nice. Headphone stuff.
I'm loading up Minecraft right now.
I had headphone fluff in my ears.
They're back.
I thought you said bead.
Yeah, but apparently I'm not logged in on it, so let me do that real quick.
What is she eating?
A toy.
Okay. As long as it's a toy, not me.
Hey, FN Kingston Gill. I'm guessing you want us to show the screen, but as we explained several times per episode, we are not able to show the screen for copyright reasons. So this is a watch party that we do with our subscribers.
Tanya says that the multiverse has a Batman in that universe, a Flash, and a Batman merged.
Yep. Well, that's what Red Death is.
Yeah, Red Death is Bruce Wayne.
It's Bruce Wayne.
Super speed. Oh, no, not that one.
You're losing any more speed.
Caleb says, okay, friend, my username is Crisis Now.
Hang on, boys. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Go, Mama Cecile.
Mama Cecile. Hey.
It's time for you to go, Thon. It's too late, Flash. Nash is mine. Nash. I'm not yet, he isn't. Hey. Let's go.
Harley. Stop, Harley.
Yeah, but you're the only one who can get yourself out of here, Nash. Come on, Nash, you're gonna have to go through me. Aren't you a glutton for punishment? Always there to bear witness to the death of someone you're trying to desperately save. No, you're not gonna win this time. I think I am. Look at him. Whatever's in there, I think you need to go face him out. No, I think going down. He's weak. He's pathetic. He's limited by his emotions. Just like you. He wants you to stay here. The more you suffer, the stronger he gets.
Prize is everything. Prize is everything.
Hi, I love fries.
Let her stop, okay?
We'll talk a little bit more at next commercial.
It's her, isn't it? She's in there. Maya. Her name is Maya. In a few short moments, I'm gonna bust through Cisco's tachyon field, and then the fun's really gonna begin. All fueled by poor Nash's grief for his precious daughter. You know a few things about grief for a precious daughter, don't you?
Don't let him get to you. Don't let him get to you.
You didn't make the most of your time with your daughter. I taught her everything I know, but you sat by and did
She made a bad choice. That's all. She just made a bad choice. Listen to me. She made a bad choice. Listen to me. Oh, we're gonna. If you don't go into that cave, you're gonna. You're not going to that cave. All you did was stifle her abilities. You were an awful father to her. I miss my daughter every day. But I'm done letting that give you power over me.
Oh, Barry.
Nice.
He says there's here.
I watched Cynthia die, and it hurt me in places I didn't even know I could feel pain. But I couldn't avoid it. You can't heal if you avoid it.
You think that Nash and I are limited by our emotions? No. They give us our strength. And we can use them to overcome anything, including you. That's your greatest flaw, Thon. Metas are the ones with limits. Not people. Not me. And not Nash.
You have to face that memory. And when you do,
And he's such a
I'll
good.
be here waiting for you.
Be able to play
I promise.
Vaughn and Nash and all the other Wells.
You're not getting past me.
Earth 13, 1 year
You
ago.
got this, Maya. Easy peasy.
Nash, the last memory cell is here.
Grab it and I'll pull you back up.
Don't do it.
Got it?
I guess the cave doesn't want to let this thing go. It's stuck.
Well, okay, you're at the end.
Don't do it.
Remember your training.
The prize is everything.
Stop her.
Prize you everything.
I got it. Easy peasy.
Playing the me, standing beside me, disguised as another me.
It was my fault. She only did what I taught her to do. It was my fault. It was my fault.
Nash is taking control of his fate. You can't feed off of him anymore.
No.
It's over, Thon.
That's kind of cool.
So Thon just dissipated because Nash took control of his pain.
Here. Oh,
Whoa!
dang.
It's like a red lightning storm all around Star Labs up into the skies.
Exorcism. Epic proportions.
I'm here. Okay?
That's what playing something
I
weird.
need a nap.
You okay? You okay? Nash. I'm here. I'm here. It was my fault. It was all my fault.
Looks like they have a digital unity.
Wow.
Man, that makes my heart hurt.
That was intense. So,
No, he does not. He is an old school NES gamer.
me?
Yeah.
Caleb says, do you play a console at all, Enosh? If so, what's your username?
I keep meaning to set a username, but
None of your business. Okay. Because he doesn't have a username because you're NES. You're like,
I keep meaning
Mario
to start.
2?
I keep meaning to play Star Wars
Fallen Order.
Battlefront and Fallen Order, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
If you're gonna play Battlefront, you don't really need to play the first one because the first one's all online.
Oh, really?
So if you want to play Battlefront, I'd suggest the second one because that one has a story.
There you go.
And that one takes place at the end of episode 6.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know. Every once in a while, I find a game that I really like. I just don't usually have time to game. I'm too busy creating videos and editing videos and tracking down toys and doing other stuff. Although I don't know, if we all get quarantined to our houses, I guess I'll have a little bit extra time.
They released the sequel first on Switch today. Like the Gungeon.
Right? If we all get quarantined to the house, I guess I'll have extra time
my
to...
job will never quarantine me. There's a possibility that I may be working from home, but I still have to work.
I know, but I'm saying, though, if you could get quarantined at home, because they can make it so you can't leave the house.
Well, that's why my boss right now is doing what he can
I
to
know.
prep me from being remote.
Yeah.
But I still
Oh,
have
yeah.
to work to get paid.
So my theory was at the beginning of the episode is I'm thinking that Cisco's gonna use his powers back at one time, or he's gonna use them for something, and he's gonna end up finding the actual Iris. Whether he pulls the actual Iris out or he sees her in the mirror dimension.
Joe already knows that
Yeah.
something's
Well,
up with her.
I think Joe, because already caught on, and I think Cisco's gonna catch on, and both of them are gonna try and convince Barry, but because he's so caught up in everything else and trying to make the artificial speed force,
Yeah.
he's not gonna believe him.
Do you think the cliffhanger's going to have something to do with the old captain?
Not yet.
Cliffhanger of what?
That's back on.
Traces of Thon's negative tachyons to be found in any organic matter on the planet. As for Nash, says he'll confirm that she didn't feel any of Thon's energy inside him.
According to three-dimensional imaging, Nash's brainwaves are thumb-free.
I guess this means Star Labs has successfully
For now.
completed its very first exorcism.
Thon's gone.
Told you.
For now.
Right. Thon's tachyons might have dissipated, but they weren't destroyed.
Which means he's not dead. Just formless.
He's probably out there looking for another body right now. Like a red-eyed, pissed-off Voldemort.
Comes back, we'll be ready.
I'm gonna go check on Nash. Are you good?
Yeah. Someone I should check on too.
Hold on. There was no holes in that one.
Like being in fog. You know what it was like?
There's no holes in that
It was like being
spider.
underwater. And I could see, I could hear. But it was hazy. I couldn't do anything. You know, basically, it sucked.
You're free of it. Free of Thon. As for the other Wellses, their brainwaves are unfortunately still entangled with yours. So there's as much a part of you now as yourself.
Right. Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
You mean I'm gonna keep hearing them?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep seeing them?
Yeah.
Crisis of infinite wells. Well, I've had worse. Hey, look, credit where credit's due. I know that without your help, we don't get the psychopath out of my body. So for that,
I'm everywhere.
I'm grateful.
It's all in me.
Thank you. See you around Earth Prime, kid.
Aren't you forgetting something?
I don't think so. I made a lot of discoveries in my career, but she was the best discovery. You know, she was
Maybe not.
just like a daughter. To me.
And the Libra? What about Libra? Sure, she's not Maya, but you did help her with her powers.
But, we got off to a rocky start. There's no point in making it a rocky ending.
Nash.
What?
Pick a Wells, any Wells.
Do I have to?
No, it doesn't matter. I got off to a rocky start with all of them.
What's your point?
My point is, I get how difficult it is to separate your feelings about a person from their doppelgangers. Did I ever tell you about the time I met Harry?
You didn't. That's yours too, Wells?
The very one.
Go ahead.
When I first saw him, all I could see was a Eobard thought. But when I saw him, when I really saw Harry for who he was, I became his friend. He became mine. Yeah, you got off to a bad start with Allegra, but it's not too late to build something good.
You're a good egg.
You're not getting sappy on me, are you?
No. No.
Good, good.
I love them together.
He's right. Ramon, you had a second chance with the labor. That's what I've been trying to tell you. You think you're so smart. Here he's gone. Well, that's gonna take some getting used to.
Nice.
I like that.
Maybe it's the old
Hey, Linda. I need to
Let it
apologize.
go, right
I
over
didn't follow
belly.
your advice, and you got hurt because of me. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Barry. I'm on the mend, feeling better already.
So, we're okay.
Always.
Status report. Nash is physically fine, but emotionally destroyed, and Cisco is completely bushed. You guys make up yet? Thank God.
Guys, are we sure creating an artificial speed force is the way to go? I mean, anyone who came in contact with Thawne's speed force got hurt.
Ours will be different. Yeah, but we still don't even know where to start. Actually, I do. Every time Thawne tried to hurt me using Nora's memory, really what he did was reminded me how much I loved her. Made me realize that she's the answer.
Nora's a jerk.
Thawne taught Nora how to build a speed force. Now she can teach us.
Nice.
No one saw you. CCPD was busy fighting sunshine.
In and out, and no one noticed.
So my husband stopped looking for me, but apparently still goes out looking for my toys. We do very well. And as long as we stick to the plan,
Success is assured.
and I'm one step closer to liberation.
A new episode of DC's Legends of Tomorrow is coming up next.
Barry, you're sweet. It's getting worse.
I can't catch my breath. All I can think about is if I'll be fast enough to save another life.
Flash is losing his speed. Draining the rest.
Flash, new episode Tuesday, April 7th, only on the
April
CW.
7th, because of this stupid quarterback.
Now, Isaac,
Yeah.
what are you talking about that Cisco's girlfriend is not the mirror version?
No, I listened back to it. Is we don't know where the actual version is.
Because they
So
used the
right
gun
now
and
it's
she went
that
like that and disappeared, but we don't know where she went.
They don't know.
Yeah,
where,
but that's not his girlfriend, though.
Yeah, no, I just the last break I listened back to it.
Oh, okay.
The one that's out right now is the bad version, but we have we have no clue what the good version is.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. You were
version's not
saying
here.
that it was just the regular girl, and that's what I was saying. No, that's not, because they established that at the beginning that she was.
But they don't know where the good version
There's
is.
only one version.
Well,
right
my
now.
guess is you get hit with that gun, you're gonna get sucked into the mirror somewhere. So she, of course, we didn't see Iris, the regular Iris either. So where is she? Right? I mean, so.
All we see is Mary Master.
Yeah. So there's somewhere there in the mirror.
Yes, Jeff. Unfortunately.
In the mirror.
Caleb
yeah.
said Battlefront 2 is the only Battlefront game you need to play. It gets a steady stream of content, new characters, new maps, etc. It has a great story mode. And then he said, I finished Fallen Order yesterday, and no spoilers. It's amazing. The end broke my brain.
Yeah, I read that there.
And
Yeah,
then
what's
Tanya
up,
says the
Stay
Red
with
Death
the
is the
road.
main villain in the last season because he was mentioned in the last season, and the other villains weren't. But Cicada was, but she was from the future.
Yeah, there's been a lot of villains that were
The
referenced
Flash
that we
will die
haven't.
the year the future newspaper had.
The newspaper thing's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the news. That was all done with Crisis because it sped up and said that he was going to die
Because the
this
thing
year.
with Crisis is they were trying to stop that from happening.
Yeah, because
And
the
that-
newspaper had to do with Crisis, and Crisis is now done.
Yeah, and that was the trade that we learned from Elseworlds is Oliver switched himself for Kara and Barry.
Yeah, so the newspaper doesn't play into the show anymore. I mean, unless they wrote it back in somehow, but
They superseded
it was
through
supposed.
Crisis.
It was supposed. I mean, unless they do like an infinite Crisis type of thing,
Wait,
but
did you see a thing in the comics that I don't know why I just remembered this because I was thinking about like Crisis, him disappearing, starting that loop of him turning into Lightning Bolt. But in one of the newest comics, the original Barry that started that loop came back and said we need to break that loop of turning into the Lightning Bolt.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know much about that story, but apparently the comic ended with like an older Barry coming out of the Speed Force saying we need to break this loop of pretty much him turning into Lightning Bolt that struck him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I don't know if that's enough to do with 5G or.
Sorry, his earbuds
Yeah.
in his container. It looks like he's like Ash and he's about to throw
Yeah,
Pokeball.
no, I bet you it does. I bet you it does. I bet you that it'll tie into 5G. I'm gonna have to read
But
that.
yeah, but I just thought about that.
Caleb says there's a rumor going around about the name of the final filmed episode for Flash. It's apparently called The Last Supper of Godspeed.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, we know we get him in episode 18.
Yep.
But we don't know how big of an impact he's gonna have for us this season. We're just guessing, oh, it's Godspeed, we're gonna.
Because he did a one-off for
Yeah.
last season.
Yeah.
Well, he appeared last episode.
Yeah.
They had mention of him.
Yeah.
Last episode. So we know he's coming back. We just don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and here's an idea. What if he called and this is just pure speculation. This is nothing really.
Yeah.
But Cisco just said that.
Tony just said, yeah, what he said.
So Cisco was just talking about Reverse Flash, and said that what called him something like a red-eyed something or another, right?
Yeah.
That he was looking for a body.
Voldemort.
Yeah, a red-eyed Voldemort looking for a body. What if
Voldemort
Thawne?
comes to the
No. What if they brought Voldemort into the Flash universe? No.
They needed the Elder One. That was the problem.
Yeah, there you go. No. What if Thawne
takes over Red Death?
Takes over Bruce Wayne's body
Oh, snap.
From Earth Prime or Earth 3, like the comic?
from Earth 3
Okay.
and becomes Red Death?
I'd be fine with that if they did that, like, the end of the season, like, that's, like, the huge thing.
Yeah.
Is that, hey, we got Bruce Wayne now, and hey...
Now you gotta
it's
wait
not
all
actually
summer to
him.
find out what happened.
Yeah.
Because eventually, eventually, they're gonna have to bring in a Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
into the universe.
Well, yeah, because we got Superman after a while on Supergirl.
Yeah.
So it's like with Batwoman, we're eventually gonna get.
We know what
we had Gotham and we saw what he looked like in the last episode, but they can expound on that if they really needed to.
Well, no. With Batwoman, we know what Batman looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know we have Batman on Earth Prime.
Yeah.
We just don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Tanya just said, why did Godspeed come back if he didn't know if XS was the daughter of the Flash?
Probably to just look for excess.
been a while since we've seen that episode.
No, but I thought that was all in the future.
No, he came back. Remember, he faced Flash. Because Flash went after him. He came back. He came back to the past.
Oh yeah.
But he was looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he came back for the drug.
Yeah, the Velocity 9.
Velocity 9, because he needed more Velocity 9, so he came back for the Velocity 9. The Velocity 9.
I was gonna say, are you like glitching?
Maybe I came back in time for Velocity 9.
First Switch Force to post that video that they were talking about.
Who?
Switch Force. Oh,
Where was that?
Caleb says there's also a rumor about the finale was going to be called Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
Well, they'll have to resolve.
The mirror stuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right
I
now,
guess to me the chick that's doing it, like they put
Mirror
it through.
Master.
She looks just so wimpy, like to have that much power. Is that just me?
Well, you also said that she's trying to play like in front of Iris that
Both
she's all
sides.
weak, and then in
Yeah.
front of them like she has control of them.
Yeah, I know but she's walking both sides of Psycho Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's obviously not.
Tanya says, "What if Zoom merges with Bruce Wayne?" And then Raptor says, "How do I watch Central Time?"
Well, you'll have to watch it on the CW, whatever your CW affiliate is where you live. I don't know where you live, the Raptor, but I would look up whatever your CW channel is, or if you have cable, look up whatever CW channel that is, and find the Flash. Tanya,
Which should be starting right now.
yeah, it'll be starting. It started 7 minutes ago, if that's the case. Now, Tanya, I will say this. I have heard that Black Flash is coming back. I have not heard that Zoom is coming back, but that Black Flash is coming back, which is what Zoom turned into.
Yeah.
I could see that too. Black Flash having something to do with Red Death.
Is that the creepy looking one?
Yeah, the one with the skeleton.
That looks
the
all
skull,
zombie-ish?
yeah, zombie looking one, yeah.
Don't you have that figure?
No, there's not a figure.
Or is that the Darkest
No,
Night Zoom looking thing?
That's a Black Lantern. British Flash.
Looks cool though.
Yeah. Yep. So I have definitely heard that Black Flash is going to be coming back at some point. So let's do this.
Interesting episode.
It was an interesting episode. Let's talk about it. Let's set up the camera here,
I'm trying to find that.
like we normally do. We're going to set up the camera here at a different angle so that we're all three right here and we can talk about this.
A little comfy. Can you sit in the corner?
No, you just come right here.
Comfy.
Yeah, come here. Come on over, Isaac. I'm gonna get a drink.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find that
Caleb-
profile that I.
Caleb said, "Not really. There's an old quote I love. Power is misleading. It can appear innocent, though it's anything but." And then Tanya said, "What if Zoom didn't turn into Black Flash and he turned into Red Death and in the new timeline?"
I don't think I need to go over that far.
Well, the only thing I'll say about that is, though, is they've
Yeah.
said that Black Flash is coming back. So I don't know that would be.
Jeff said April 7th. Oh, never mind. My thing popped back down again.
Yep, April 7th.
No, that was like way up
Oh,
there. I
okay.
said my thing popped out again.
We gotta get your thing popped back in then.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that page real quick because.
Tanya said, but Black Flash could be a mystery like the comics. Huh?
Oh, whoops. I almost accidentally sent us $1.99 in a super chat.
We need to do that.
No.
We're good.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
No.
That's not how that works. I mean, we can't give ourselves like $500 in super chat.
Nope.
Darn it.
Nothing.
Just keep
Caleb's retracting a lot over here.
I also see things moving over there, so I was.
Here we go with the Exorcism of Daddy Enosh. By the way, have you all seen Star Labs' Roof earlier? Yes.
Hashtag
I still got to make that video. I did not have the chance to make with all the stupid coronavirus crap that went down. I have not had an opportunity because I've been too busy trying to figure out stuff for work and everything else because of the stupid coronavirus.
He's gonna deal with.
But
that
did you
first.
see that roof?
He's.
There was one where there were no holes at all. Did you see that?
No, because I was looking down when it showed.
Oh, come on, guys. You're killing me here. Every stinking... They used no static shots this week. No repeats of the last week where they showed it all.
Ooh.
All new shots this week, and one of them did not even have a hole.
I like Caleb's post.
Just saying.
It says, fun fact, Lex Luthor paraphrased the quote in BVS. Do you know the oldest lie in America, Senator? It's that power can be innocent. Isn't that before she also had Granny's peach tea?
Yes, you can put piss in a jar and call it Granny's peach tea or whatever. Yeah, it's a great line.
Jeff said, can't believe a whole week has passed. It feels like it was only yesterday that we were discussing about that roof anomaly.
Right? We went on for like 20
Hours.
minutes. It was not hours. It was like 20 minutes for that roof deal. But seriously though, I stand by that whole Star Labs roof deal because they've shown so many different things.
Conspiracy.
Hashtag conspiracy on the stupid roof of Star Labs. I'm telling you, it's going to play into the season finale.
Is that going to be the next T-shirt for the merch?
I'm going to make, yes.
It's going to be a picture of Star Labs with the broken spire and hashtag conspiracy. Hashtag Star Labs roof. Hashtag Enosh ain't happy.
Spire. Broken spires.
Hashtag conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Tanya says, why was Infected Flash called Dark Flash and not Negative Flash?
Infected Flash.
Was that when he was infected by the dude in the first part of the season?
You mean when Zoom turned into Black Flash? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm still trying to
What are you trying to find?
that page. Did they just like clear out all their posts?
And not Negative Flash. Dark Flash. Infected Flash.
Season 6.
Which Flash was that?
Was that the one where he was infected when he went back into the Speed Force with the dude from Heroes that infected him? Is that what happened?
That was this season.
It's been since like a long season.
The dude,
Holy
it's been a
cow.
long season because Black.
Tanya said before Crisis, so that would have been this season.
Well, that was okay. So this season.
Is it?
Oh, I get what you're talking.
By Ramsey. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't think of his name.
I get what you're talking about now.
Dude from Heroes is how I remember.
Did they call him Dark Flash?
And Jeff says, "Where's Ralph and Sue? I miss them. I miss Dibney."
We knew.
Yeah,
we know
Ralph and Sue need to show up.
Well, we know Sue disappeared at the end of that episode that she was in.
Yeah.
So probably Ralph was just still out trying to figure where she went.
Did they call it? Did they actually call him Dark
He's
Flash, or
out,
was that
like,
just a
she should
passing
be.
thing? That was just like a passing thing because he got infected and then he.
Just for one episode.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was
Tanya
his own
said
character.
Sue turned to the dark side.
Yeah, because it wasn't like he was his own character. I don't remember them calling him actually Dark Flash.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember that he was just the Flash, but he was infected, obviously.
Yeah, by Ramsey.
Dibney has taken.
I don't know
time
why
off,
when she said infected,
like
I was
Hannah
thinking.
Baker should be being pregnant.
Yeah. Well, right? Like it's like they got the wrong people off. I don't know. It's weird.
She's working through a pregnancy and he's off not.
Yeah. The show. So I will say first of all, let's talk about.
Tanya said Cisco called him Dark Flash.
Oh, did he?
Multiple times.
Okay. Well, I think there was probably just a passing thing. I don't think that they were actually trying to give him a I mean,
Well, when he
a
had
moniker.
when he had that the ink looking stuff over his face, that
I don't think it was what he wouldn't have been negative Flash though, because it had nothing to do with the negative Speed Force or anything. So
No,
it wouldn't
it
have
was
been.
all Rams.
That's Reverse Flash, right? I mean, so negative Flash. Is there a negative Flash? Is there a negative Flash? Or is it just Reverse Flash?
That's that one that. Well, no. There was when Barry took in all that negative Speed Force and had that black lightning and had all that black all over him in the comics. But
that's right. Yes.
Because they referenced it in
There's just like way too many versions and like alternate versions of
Caleb
Flash.
says, "I'm still mad that it's been 5 seasons and we've never had a Reverse Flash origin episode. Have the future Eobard actor come back, have it be in the 31st century, show his real origin story, etc." I actually like the dude that was in.
Yeah.
Who
Well,
played
hold
Eobard.
on. Didn't we get something though in first season about that though?
What?
We got a little snippet.
When he got in the car accident and then he took him over and all that stuff.
But we
it
didn't
was
actually see where he came from.
Yeah.
What he
just
was doing.
the fact that that's what he did and where he's been this whole time.
Yeah.
When he was faking it in the vroom.
Faking it in the the wheelchair.
Yep.
The vroom.
The hover round.
Hover round. Reverse Flash. What motorized scooter got you to the Grand Canyon? Hover round. All right. No.
Claudia said that will be in the last season.
The last season, first
Flash and
episode.
vroom vroom.
Hover around. Flash.
Hover round Flash.
Hover around Flash. Flash in the vroom. Okay, so this episode. Let's talk this episode. The vroom.
My head hurts from work. I work for.
I know, it's been a long day. I tell you what, this stupid virus thing. I have literally been in meetings for the last 3 days. I went in yesterday. Yesterday was my day
I
off.
work in the medical field. I'm still like.
Oh my gosh! I went in yesterday on my day off and still had to sit in a 2-hour meeting and just we've made different plans for 3 days in a row, and every day they change the plan and there's something different. So
can't find it.
But hey, it is what it is. Okay, so this episode tonight. What?
Nothing. Video gaming.
This episode tonight. I gotta say, so this is the second episode in a row that was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
We were really getting concerned after Crisis because the first couple episodes sucked.
Wells got me in the fields tonight.
It was like
this episode was really good that way.
All the episodes after Crisis had no momentum until the very end of the episode, and that momentum didn't carry into the next.
Exactly.
It was kind of like they built up all this momentum at the very end and then restarted right at the beginning.
One thing I will say about, what are we, 4 episodes after Crisis now?
No, it's more than that.
I don't think it's that.
Crisis was.
No, we're 5 episodes. This is the 5th episode since Crisis. I will say this: every episode since Crisis is sporadic.
Caleb says he told Barry his origin, but we haven't seen it.
You're right, Caleb.
For
Reverse Flash.
Oh,
Caleb
yeah.
was saying that he would like to see that it's been
Yeah.
it's been 6 seasons now, and we don't have like a definitive like origin episode for Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
So I agree.
There's
with him.
multiple versions of.
I know
Flash in the
what
comics.
the origin is. I know what the origin is. It has something to do with the spires. And the holes in the spires, and some of them don't have them.
That's
Anyways.
That's why the negative Speed Force, because he was so angry about the spires, he created a bad Speed Force.
Exactly. No, but no, one of the things I've noticed is like, have you noticed that like not one episode so far, even the 2 good ones, have had like a cohesive, like, all together story with everybody? It's like sporadic stuff is going on. There's like, since they got this mirror story going on, and they got a reverse.
I know why they're doing that.
Tell us, great one.
Is because Arrow was the main show, and that's what Arrow was good for doing, is because you have like the main story going on right now, and then you'd have Diggle's story going on off to the side, and then you'd have a flashback or towards the end.
I'm just saying, I'm
a flash forward, so you had 3 separate storylines going on in one episode.
That's fine. I'm just saying the first 3 episodes back sucked. They did not do that well at all. It was not cohesive.
I feel like if they wanted to copy Arrow with that, they should have started that next season. They shouldn't have done that first episode.
Well, I don't think they should try to copy Arrow, though, at all. Yeah. If that's what they're doing, if that's really what they're trying to do is copy Arrow just to be the main...
Well, yeah, because that's something that people loved about the show, is like they had 3 stories at once, and it didn't feel like it was overwhelming you with all these different stories.
Yeah, and, well, I feel like it's sporadic enough that it's hard to focus like on what's going on in each episode, even the good ones, because there's like all these crazy things going on, and none of them point to the main topic of the episode. Like, you know what I mean? Because like the main thing of the episode tonight was Nash. Yet there's the whole, sub thing with
Plethora of Nash.
with Rainbow Girl, and and the little orb from Supergirl, the Omega Hedron.
Wellses that are all.
If you get that one, the Omega Hedron from the Supergirl movie. I mean, expected Helen Slater to come out and be like, "Hey, I lost that. Give that back."
Caleb says, "I also want a scene where Eobard tries to recreate the experiment that gave Barry his powers, and he's running into the Flash suit, and he gets struck by lightning, and the suit slowly turns yellow, and Eobard slowly realizes that he's supposed to become Reverse Flash and goes mad."
You don't know that.
That's what Caleb said.
I know. I'm just messing.
Oh.
What?
Just lost my live chat. Never mind.
Oh, there you go.
I'm also interested to see what Reverse Flash is going to follow, because there's Professor Zoom.
Yeah.
And then there was the Eobard Thawne, which was their fallen name Eobard Thawne, but we've only been told his backstory. We've never, like Caleb said, we've never physically seen it.
Well, that's the thing, right? So, because in the comics, he's just Professor Zoom. I mean, he's Professor Zoom. He's Reverse Flash, He's all those things. But obviously, we're getting this other tale where they've like split up some of them, because we got Zoom.
Yeah.
Plus, we got a little more story when we were in Legends too.
Because the two versions of Reverse Flash is the one was a police officer that got paralyzed, and then he used the cosmic treadmill for his speed, and then the other one was he was genetically modified to be like perfect, and he ended up becoming Reverse Flash.
Ooh,
and that's the Eobard Thawne.
Tanya says, "Why wasn't Ramsey in the Flash Museum in season 5?
Because they hadn't written him into the story yet.
Yeah. Well, he also wasn't that big of a villain.
Was he a little baby villain?
Well, no, I
He's
get
the
it.
little guy.
I mean, the reality of it is because they hadn't written it yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously.
But obviously, they have plans for Dr. Light. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have plans for Dr. Light, Red Death, the Rogues.
Yeah, they had plans for some of those, but Bloodwork they had not yet written it in. But but also it doesn't mean that we saw all the villains that are necessarily connected with the Flash either.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
I'm catching up, Jeff, but it sounds awesome. Jeff said Supergirl's episode this week was also really good. Even in the next, where Alex Danvers becomes a Supergirl, looks promising.
I like Tanya. Tanya, it is good to have you in the chat because I like the fact that you got some Flash.
Flash knowledge?
Some Flash knowledge. That's cool.
Tanya said, "Did you know that Zoom is the first main villain for the Flash because Reverse Flash is in the future?" Did you know the human had Mercedes?
Well,
technically not, because Eobard came back to the past.
Came back
when Barry was 12. So.
To stay there until he grew up to kill him.
I think that's
no. He didn't stay there on purpose. It was because
he got stuck.
He got stuck.
Yeah, he got stuck because the Speed Force didn't exist then.
Yeah.
So that's why he created.
It's like Back to the Future when they had to wait.
So that's why he became Harrison Wells. Went to Star Labs, created the particle accelerator, so that way Barry became the Flash, which would have created the Speed Force.
Tanya just said big brain.
No, and so that's, so technically, I mean, and that's why he is the Reverse Flash, because it all starts and ends with him.
Yeah.
Basically, he is. That's why
He's always fighting him. That's why fight him.
That's why I have complained a little bit that they haven't utilized Reverse Flash more over the last 6 seasons.
Back to the Future 2 style.
That's one of the reasons why I've complained that they haven't used Reverse Flash more over the last 6 seasons, because he is the Flash's main nemesis.
Yeah.
Nemesis. I was going to say something else. But to not utilize him at all, and for there to be such a gap, because there was years that we didn't have any kind of.
Yeah, because we got him for like 1 episode in season 2. We didn't get him in season 3. I don't think we got him in season 4. And then we got him like a little bit in 5.
And I know that he was on Legends.
Yeah.
I know all that stuff.
But we didn't get him on the Flash.
No, but we didn't get him on the Flash. And also, and Caleb, I know disagrees with me on this, but
Caleb says I want a new speedster villain called the Speed Professor as a nod to Professor Zoom.
I know what you're gonna say with the Caleb thing. I can see the guy that played Reverse Flash on Legends. I can see him as Professor Zoom, and I can see
Yeah,
Tom
I can
Cavanaugh.
see that because of the way that he acted.
And I can see Tom Cavanaugh as Eobard. That's how I see both of them.
That would be an interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean just in general?
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah.
I can see them playing those versions of Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Tanya said nobody likes DeVoe.
No. I just did not like
Season
DeVoe.
4
Was the good.
I feel like if you go back and rewatch that season, like, all together, not week by week, like how we did, you have a little bit more of an appreciation for him, or like you like him a little bit more because when you watch it,
Still the weakest link, though.
when you watch it back to back, it's more of a chess game, is what it is.
Yeah, but he's still not that.
But when you watched it week by week, it seemed super slow.
Yeah, but still, there was a lot of stuff going on though that just seemed really going on.
You have
that
to
season.
rewatch it.
He's
I guess
not gonna.
I'm not gonna go back and
Yeah, I'm
rewatch
not
that season.
gonna.
Of all the seasons, I'm not gonna probably go back and watch that season just because I just think that it's kind of blah. And I don't like. I didn't like him as an actor, to be quite honest with you. I thought that he was kind of blah as an actor. So I think that it was just a combination of things that just did not set up DeVoe to be the best villain in that.
Because he
in
was
that
trying to
aspect.
use his brain to like try to like catch him and
But I also
get
kind
him
of
in
like more of the
trouble.
villains that are always like way ahead of the superhero.
Yeah,
I
but
normally like those kinds
but
of
also
heroes.
they got to be careful how they do that because then it can also appear to be just like it's kind
Jeff
of
likes DeVoe.
It's kind of what's that?
Yeah.
Jeff says I like DeVoe. I totally get his motivation for his actions.
I get his motivation. I'm not saying I don't get his motivation. I do get his motivation. I just anytime that you have somebody who's like, oh, I think ahead of you all the time.
No,
Why
I'm
did
not.
you just turn into the Emperor?
I'm not talking about like being ahead.
I
like,
can think ahead of you.
Like a few steps. Like I'm saying, like for Deathstroke, he was ahead of Oliver, like physically with his strength and his speed, but also he already had a plan, and Oliver was still trying to figure it out. Like I like those kinds of things, or like where I'm at with Alice at least is like.
They're smartical.
They're
smartical.
She's has this plan, and Batwoman is still trying to figure it out. Or like with Maxwell Lord, you didn't really know what he was gonna do until something happened.
Yeah.
Ooh, Caleb says also,
So,
do
like,
you...
I normally like the villains like that. It's like you don't know what they're gonna do until it all.
Well,
clicks
that's why I
with
like
the
Lex Luthor when he's not being played in a stupid way.
hero. Yeah. Well, I just like the villains where it's like they seem like they're ahead until it all clicks with the hero.
Yep.
I normally like those kinds of villains.
Caleb says also, do you think Flash will end with season 7 like Arrow? If they do, will they give Flash a happy ending or a heroic sacrifice like Oliver? I kind of hope he gets a happy ending. And then Tanya says, and I never thought a Brain would be a main villain for season 4.
Yeah. As to Caleb's remark there, they're going to keep Flash as long as they could possibly keep Flash.
Yeah. Because if Flash ends, I don't see it all
Flash
going on the
Cow, I mean
shoulders.
Cash Cow?
I don't see it all going onto the shoulders of Superman or Supergirl.
No, not
And
yet.
then-
Not
or-
yet.
They have to prove themselves.
And then I don't even see like Legends being the main show or Batwoman being the main
Well,
show.
there's talk that Legends is going away too.
Well, they're to renew
Well,
next
especially
season.
with what they did to
But
Brandon
Legends
Routh.
is always on the brink though.
Yeah,
because
that's what's always being
Plus
talked
they
about.
messed over Brandon Routh.
Yeah, well,
And his wife.
So that's something completely new that
Did you
came
hear
out
about
this
that?
last week.
Oh my gosh.
So
they
that
messed him
interview
over.
that
Oh, yeah, the
that
Michael
Brandon
Rosenbaum.
Brandon Routh did an interview, and you can find it right here on YouTube.
The Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. He talks about actually in that interview the fact that everybody has thought that him and his wife were just peacefully just leaving the show.
Which is what
And that's what everybody has thought, and that's what they've allowed everybody to think.
Well, yeah, because that's how Brandon Routh said it.
That's the way that they've said it. He came out on the interview and said that is not the case. They did not want to leave. They still don't want to leave. They're being forced out, basically,
by the Legends producers.
by the producers. Which to
Yeah,
which to me seems so stupid.
Because he is so good in that
I could see him taking the Cisco spot, like if Cisco were to leave again, or like say Cisco were to leave permanently. Like
No,
if
he's
they
gone.
talked about-
He's
no.
he's not. What
But I was
you know?
like,
What
if
he's
Michael-
probably the only one that I would accept in that spot because I do not accept them trying to throw 2 new people at us, Chester and that and
Camila.
And Camila. I don't accept that they're going to try to replace Cisco and
Yeah, it sounds like tonight's his last episode. Because he made a post, Brandon Routh.
Yeah.
Because he made a post today.
And I really gotta catch up.
So, but if they had brought Brandon Routh over to Flash, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
But apparently, they've kind of pushed them out. My concern is that they pushed him out because they want to bring in the Asian guy to be the new
Ryan Choi.
the new.
Because he's the one in the comics that makes.
And if that's the case, if they did that specifically, look.
Yeah.
If you got a reason to bring the character in, that's one thing.
Yeah.
If they did it simply
Brandon Routh was like, "Hey, I'm leaving."
Yeah. If Brandon Routh was like, "Hey, I'm leaving," and his wife was like, "Hey, I'm leaving. We're going to go do this other thing," but to find out that they're kicking them out, and if I thought that they're doing that just to like some kind of fill some kind of quota to just bring an Asian person on it, look, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not against having anybody on any show. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you're going to kick somebody off just to put somebody else in just because of their race, that I don't think is right. I wouldn't say kick out, somebody from a show to put a white guy in either. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know how that.
You're not saying like kick out the guy who plays Jimmy Olsen. Like you're not saying that.
Yeah, I'm not saying like kick out the guy who plays Jimmy Olsen and then say that's not the real Jimmy Olsen, but this white kid is now. Yeah. Because even though it is what it is, he's Jimmy Olsen. Yes.
Jeff says, I like how he sucked in the other meta's powers in his flying chair. I kind of wish they kept Marlize DeVoe. She's brilliant. And then Caleb said, my favorite season of the
She was good.
Yeah. Caleb says, my favorite season of the Arrowverse are as follows. Arrow Season 2, Flash Season 1, Supergirl Season 3, and Legends of Tomorrow Season 2. And then Jeff says, pretty sure the Flash will get a happy ending. This is a more family-friendly, kiddie-friendly show than Arrow was.
Yeah, Arrow is more of the darker, more real show.
And then Tanya says Reverse Flash gone in Season 4, but in Season 4, Episode 1, Flash did the Reverse Flash eyes, so why? Ask me a Flash question and I'll get it right.
Yes, I agree with Caleb. Like, for my favorite seasons, well, I'm still in Season 2 of Supergirl right now. But, like, take out Season 3 Supergirl, but I agree with that. Favorite seasons.
Only because of lack of watching all of them yet.
Yeah.
But you're in quarantine, so you can watch the rest. You can catch up on a lot of shows.
What season is it right now, Supergirl? 5?
Too much? What?
5 or 6?
This is 5.
5? Oh yeah, because it's always one behind Flash.
You stopped watching, I think, in Season 2.
So, I'm on Season 2
I stopped watching Season 4.
4.
Actually, no. You know what? I didn't watch the last 2 episodes of season. Yeah. No, wait. I stopped watching Season 4.
Yeah.
Because I haven't watched any of this season, and I stopped watching the last 2 episodes.
This is how I'm gonna catch up on all of them.
Except for the Lex Luthor episodes, I did
Legends, Black Lightning.
I watched the Lex Luthor episodes because I wanted to see
what you thought of him.
What I thought of Lenny, and he's okay. He's better than I thought he was going to be. And sometimes he's good, and then sometimes it's exactly how I feel about him.
More than he is.
Yep. So he's got his moments that they write when they write him well. They write him really well. But I thought
you mean the moment where you freaked out when you thought that he might take down Smallville's Tom Welling?
That Earth is still out there post-crisis.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's that moment where I thought that they were going to write him to take out Tom Welling. But I will say this: it is an absolute atrocity that they replaced Brandon Routh's Superman with that Lex Luthor as one of the whatchamacallits.
Caleb says
in Crisis. That to me was stupid, and like I said, the producers are on crack if they think that people don't want Brandon Routh, because right now Brandon Routh is a hot commodity. You could do a continuation of his Superman right now for as much as, never thought that I would say this, for as much as Superman Returns is a blasé movie and just kind of there and a place marker for being another Superman movie, in my opinion, his legacy will forever, to me, be what he's done in Crisis. In just the few minutes that he had on Crisis, it gave us this taste, It felt like a continuation of Christopher Reeve's Superman, a natural continuation of it. It did not feel forced like it was in Superman Returns. He was that leader. He had plenty to say because he actually spoke and actually commanded the screen when he was on screen, so much more than he did even in Superman Returns. And right now, if you put that guy in his own show and like some multiverse thing, on HBO Max or whatever, and launch that as a miniseries or whatever, people would eat that up because the man has proven himself. The man did good when they gave him some good writing and they gave him a good story and they allowed him to be Superman. Then he was. But to have what's his name's Lex Luthor, to have John Cryer's Lex Luthor replace him was asinine.
So is this. Caleb said, yeah, and apparently Brandon Routh was also pissed because they dangled a Superman show in his face, and he was going to accept, but apparently Tyler Hoechlin went to the CW executives and said he'd do it for way less money than Routh.
Look, I try to like Hoechlin. I really, really, really try to like Hoechlin. And I'm going to watch Superman.
Paragon.
I'm going to watch Superman when it comes out because I'm a huge Superman fan. I mean, I wouldn't name Landon's middle name Jor-El for nothing.
That's frustrating, though, if they gave that to him and
But
Hoechlin said he'd take less money to do it.
That right there, if that is all it was based on, that's stupid. Because here's the deal. Tyler Hoechlin, first of all, he's a different Superman. He's a different take on Superman. They're going to do a completely different thing with him than they ever would have done with Routh. But at this point, Routh would have been so much better choice. And as far as viewership, Tyler Hoechlin's Superman is going to have to earn viewership. Even if you just out of left field said, "Hey, Routh is going to have this Superman show that has nothing to do with anything else," everybody's going to tune in.
And then the Pull and Arrow fans are like, "Oh yeah, Diggle's moving to Metropolis."
Yeah, let's talk about built-in audience. Right there, everybody would be watching it. Everybody would be watching it like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to build in the audience at that point.
Hotcakes.
Yeah, I don't get that. I do not. If that's true, Caleb,
then
that's the first I've heard that rumor. If that is true, I hate that. I hate that would be true. To be quite honest.
And the fact that on top of that he gets kicked out of Legends, add fuel to the fire and salt to the wound.
That guy, I tell you what, after seeing him after seeing him the last few years in the CW and then seeing his take on Superman, now
he cares what he does.
He does. And meeting him. And meeting him in person and getting a chance to talk to him. The guy hugged me.
And hearing him talk about his love for
Superman. About his love for Superman.
And his frustrations for what he wanted to do and couldn't do.
He's passionate for the stuff that he likes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that it changes my whole perception about Brandon Routh as an actor and stuff.
And
as a person, as a family man, just the stuff that I was really surprised in that same interview. He talked about his faith even.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what?
I'll go back and watch that tonight because I heard part of it on Friday.
Yeah, it's a very good interview, and I just I don't know. That's very.
They should leave it. They should start the Nora Dark and the Adam show. There you go, and then bring his son in. That way, it can be a family thing.
That's a shame if that's the case.
Superman.
Exactly.
The girl that plays Nora is Lois, and then their kid
there you go, Jason
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
What's
there
that?
you go.
They're going to show on
Love
HBO or somewhere else because the CW is not going to do it if they did this to him.
Yeah.
But do one where he plays Superman. His wife plays either a character on the show or
Nora Dark
or Lois.
Well, his wife looked like Lois in the one thing.
And then if they really want to, their kid could play Jonathan.
He looks just like his dad. He's a cutie.
You'd have at least 3 characters right there that you could use.
I doubt they'll go with the Jonathan thing. Like even if Brandon Routh he played Jason.
Well, if they continue that Superman.
Well, that would be the Superman.
Jeff says I don't think
that's CW now.
Well, it's not CW. It's still this. That's still the Superman Returns Superman. Okay. That was the
Jeff
official.
says I don't think they should. It is. They should. He says I don't think they shove it in his face Tyler is always meant to be the Arrowverse official Superman.
Mhm.
It would create confusion if they make Brandon the Superman because he's Arrowverse's Adam.
Yeah.
But they could do a spinoff. They could always do a spinoff for the multiverse. That's one of the great things about the multiverse and their commitment to the multiverse all of a sudden, is that you could always do...
And now it looks like they're opening it up to DCU.
Yeah, I mean, because they even brought in... Warner Brothers asked
Ezra
specifically for Ezra Miller to be brought
Did
in.
you hear that CW is asking for another...
Yes,
thing
I
with
have
Ezra Miller?
heard that.
Because it
now.
was tasty.
I've heard that now that they are talking
the
about
CW.
It's gonna
putting
be
putting Ezra Miller in another episode of The Flash.
If it's gonna be a while before his movie comes out, you might as well just tickle us a little bit.
Well,
What?
what?
Nothing.
You want to get tickled? a
No.
little bit? What is this you want?
That's
What is this
not
you
what I
want?
meant.
You said tickle you a little bit, so I mean I can oblige. I can do that for you. Don't need CW to do that. I can do that for you. I mean I don't even think I want CW to be touching you. Come on now. That's not
Yeah,
gonna-
if they're doing that kind of stuff, if they're messing people over.
Yeah, really. No telling where that tickling will lead to.
Yeah, 'cause also in
Jeez,
the
they'll screw
Crisis,
you over too.
The characters in the DC movies don't even know about the multiverse.
But now
Like-
Flash does.
Yeah, so now Ezra Miller's Flash does. Now it's like, okay, how is that going to affect the movies? And now it's going to be like, okay, are they going to take things from the shows and be like, okay, now we want these in the movies? They're
Does
going to
that
say,
mean that Grant Gustin's gonna be in it? Could be in his movie?
I don't know.
I saw a rumor
Or-
that that's possible.
Or could they do
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like, hey, this didn't do so good in the movies, so let's make a TV show instead to get people to like it again, and then maybe do another movie.
Tanya said, "Did you know the Green Lantern show is continuing the Green Lantern movie?"
That's not what I heard. I heard that they obviously used the picture from the Green Lantern movie
In
for
Crisis.
Crisis just because they didn't
For
have
their Earth.
just because they didn't have anything else Green Lantern to use, and they didn't want to have to create something Green Lantern
Green
for that
Lantern.
because right now the Green Lantern TV show has no substance. There's no there's
I
no
agree with-
physical
I
show
agree with
right
you,
now.
Caleb.
They're not shooting anything. They don't have actors. They,
All we know is
that
they get
show it's not going to star John Diggle. He's not going to be in it.
He's going to Metropolis. He's going to be in the Superman. And
Yeah,
Lois.
so none of that's going to factor in. So right now there's no show. I mean, there's a show that they keep saying is going to happen and is going to materialize, but they have no actors. They got no scripts as far as right now.
That's why in Crisis we got Green Lantern footage.
That's why we got footage from the TV show, not
From the
because
movie.
or from the movie. I mean, yeah, not
Yes.
because that's what it's going to be. That it's not going to be a continuation of that.
Caleb said fans.
Although
are-
there was talk though for a while that they were going to continue that
Ryan
Green
Reynolds.
Lantern, that they still wanted Ryan Reynolds to come back.
Which I can still
And there
see.
was a minute that it was being talked about when Disney was buying out Fox because they weren't sure that Disney was going to continue with the Deadpool series the way it is because of it being an R-rated series. And back then they were saying, there was all this kind of talk. So they were trying to talk to Ryan Reynolds about possibly doing it and like retroing it and stuff like that, but nothing came of that, obviously. So
Caleb said fans aren't stupid. We can accept an actor playing two different roles.
exactly.
That's the same mentality that studios gave for years as to not having two different versions of the same character at a time.
Exactly.
So
like,
dumb.
like read Justice League and the show at the same time.
Yep.
So,
Jeff?
and people were like, oh, is this Flash and Justice League the same on the TV show, or it wasn't vice versa?
No.
I'm too stupid to make up my
Well,
own
the same thing
mind.
when Superman Returns came out and Smallville was on, right? People were wanting Tom Welling to play Superman in the movie, and it's like, look, as much as I would have loved to have seen Tom Welling in a Superman costume,
If you didn't know no
No
fights
fights,
and
no
no
tights.
tights for the show, there's no way he's gonna do it for a movie.
no, and especially not.
Give me enough money.
Especially not when the show was in its let's see,
yet.
well, it started in 2001, and the movie came out in 2006,
So they would have been in what season?
5, 6, something like that.
Either just finishing 5 or just starting 6.
Yeah. So the thing is like they wouldn't have quit the show at that point because it was in its peak.
Yeah.
And then also, Tom Welling was already known for being Clark Kent. So they're not going to do something like that.
Jeff says, but I've never heard about Brandon getting pissed about it. That's the rumor nobody else even heard until now. LOL.
Yeah, exactly.
Tanya said,
Oh,
yeah,
he's left.
they do. John Diggle is Green Lantern. Dominating Impulse says, LOL, can we all say Black Lightning is the best Arrowverse show for the last 2 seasons? Flash is cool, but if it's not RF or Speedster storyline, it doesn't pop. Grodd hits hard too. And then Caleb says, the Green Lantern HBO Max show is DCEU. Greg Berlanti confirmed back in December.
One thing I want to say about Black Lightning is
but the Ryan Reynolds thing is not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the Ryan Reynolds thing is not DCEU. It's not expanded universe. That has nothing to do with the Green Lantern.
People just think that because Jason
Green
Momoa
Lantern
knew since
HBO
then
Max
that he was
show.
Aquaman.
What's that?
Says,
I know, but what I'm saying though is all that is speculation. There is nothing out there that says that that's a continuation of Ryan Reynolds' movie. There's just nothing out there that says that. I know that a lot of people want that. You got to remember where the source is, okay? Because yes, there are websites like if you see anything from we've got this covered.com, do not believe it, because it's absolute garbage news. It's absolute crap. A bunch of us, like when that website first started putting stuff out, you know, they were putting out some stuff and we were like, whoa, look at this thing that's being reported. That website is total garbage. And unfortunately, it's websites like that are promote. If you look at any of the actual movie websites or places that put out that information, none of them are saying that that's a continuation. I have seen nothing. If you have a link, I would say if you have a link, that's the only way I believe it. I'd have to see that, because I have not seen anything about Berlanti saying that the HBO Max Green Lantern is a continuation of the it's not. It wouldn't even be DCEU. It would have to be, because the only Green Lantern we got in DCEU is the little flashes of Green Lanterns in the past from Justice League the movie where they fought Steppenwolf, and there's no story there.
Yeah.
So it could be that, because we got no story.
The reason that people make that connection is because around the time Aquaman came out, Jason Momoa said he knew he was going to play Aquaman since Green Lantern. Oh. So people just make that connection. They wanted to. Yeah. They wanted. That was the plan originally. Was that Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern was going to start it. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern was supposed to start the DCEU. It was supposed to, but it didn't. It almost killed it, because first, see, which one came first? Did Man of Steel come first? Man of Steel came first, and then Green Lantern, right? Or did Green Lantern come first? No, Green Lantern came first. Because it was Green Lantern that was supposed to start it, and then they were doing Man of Steel, and then that was supposed to all be in universe, and that was what they were that was the plan. Because there was a scene that was never finished, but the ring was supposed to fly by Clark Kent. Yeah. So the thing is that was the plan, but what people forget is that they abandoned that plan because the movie tanked. It didn't do well, and I'm one of the people who say I don't think the movie is as bad as people want to make that movie out to be. Story-wise? Except for Parallax. Yeah, I say story-wise, I think it was good, but comic-wise, it was not accurate. Yeah, no, it wasn't accurate. And Parallax looks like a big giant yellow fart. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know, I mean, you can't.
He's like the Mucinex snot dude.
Right, you can't have a giant cloud be your villain.
Those two should fight.
You can't have a giant cloud be your villain. That
Especially in the comics, Hal Jordan turns into Parallax.
Exactly. Hal Jordan is Parallax, so that doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't think Ryan Reynolds necessarily did a bad job as Hal Jordan. Although Hal Jordan is a much more he's a different kind of character than that. And then also
I think it was Ford.
Michael McDonald thing from Family Guy.
Sorry.
Big yellow fart. But it was originally supposed to be at the start of the DCEU, but they canned that real quick because it just did not work.
Caleb says Tanya says John Diggle at the end of Arrow got a Green Lantern ring. I thought it was because Crisis. Mark says I'm back.
What's up, Mark? Glad to have you back. So John Diggle
It's fun to say.
Is fun to say. We assume that it's a ring, but
Caleb says Lantern was an 11, Man of Steel was 13.
yes, you're right. But we assumed that was a ring, and that's what they've led us to believe. But I guarantee you, because there's no show and they're not going to connect it, John Diggle, if he shows up again, if you're saying he's going to show up in Metropolis,
that's
because
the
it
thing
said he's going to move
be
there.
is because people are like, oh, you finally see John Diggle as a Lantern. Go
Did
watch.
he see a ring, or was it just like
I
rain that
I
just over
don't.
his face?
I would
There's a little
highly
box that
doubt.
you open.
We don't see the ring. You never see the ring. You see a green light shine on him. I was actually really disappointed with that because a lot of people were like, I remember that day and everybody was like freaking out going, oh my gosh, John Diggle got the ring. It's amazing. And they did verify that his name is John Stewart, not just John Diggle. His name is John Stewart.
No, his stepdad's last name is Stewart.
That's what I'm saying.
So he's not
yeah, but they've
Stewart.
said that they've tried to make that connection or whatever,
Yeah.
that it could be, and that's fine. But the reality is that you never saw the actual ring, and I can guarantee you that if he's any kind of character on not Metropolis, I want to call it Metropolis, Superman and Lois, that you're not going to see him as Green Lantern.
Mark says it was the glow stick of destiny.
Exactly.
Tanya
because
said,
they just do stuff like that. And I don't know why they do stuff like that, but they do it. They get everybody riled up about something, and then it doesn't materialize in anything. And I think that the John Diggle thing is just because people really wanted it after they made the offhand comment
they teased us for 7 years.
Yep. They teased us, and then there was the comment, why don't you have your ring or whatever. But
Tanya
he's not going to be on the show, though.
Tanya said they made Parallax a cloud like Galactus and Fantastic Four 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark says space clouds are popular.
Space farts are popular. It's a space fart.
No, going back to what Dominating Impulse said about Black Lightning, that's one thing that I like about the show, is they've kept the same character since the beginning of the series. Like, not the same character, the same villain.
Yes, which is actually good.
Normally people don't like when shows do that, when you have the same villain for like multiple seasons in a row, like the main villain multiple seasons in a row.
Yeah.
And I felt like Black Lightning's been really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still very good at that. Mm-hmm. Like you still hate him.
Yeah.
You still
hate him 3 years later.
Yes.
But
which is good. Which
that's
kind of
what I've noticed is it's kind of like the Lex Luthor thing. Mm-hmm. Where when Lex Luthor's played well, Lex Luthor's been the main villain of many a Superman show, and when he's played well, you can keep a main villain. Yeah. You can have other aspects that come in, but you keep this main antagonist that the hero can't necessarily just go take down. Because if the hero just takes him down, it's going to cause this other problem, and that's what Tobias is. Yeah. So I've watched enough of the show to understand that dynamic.
Yeah, Tobias is still the villain in season 3.
Yeah.
At least where we are.
I just need to catch up on all of it.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up Supergirl first, catch up to the most current point, then Black Lightning, then Batwoman, and then Legends.
Oh, I'm doing Legends first. Because I want to see what's going on with Routh. Caleb did say the CGI was terrible. His suit was horrible. He needs a real suit, not CGI energy bullcrap.
Absolutely agree with that.
Jordan just says Metropol McDoppel. Mark says in space they don't hear you toot.
That's the tagline. That's the tagline for the Green Lantern movie. Green Lantern in space. They can't hear you toot.
And then you know what the picture's gonna be? It's gonna be the one where Green Lantern's like this and then Parallax is like this when he's doing the oath. Green Lantern's light.
He's trying to shield himself from a giant toot.
Yes. And then Tanya says they announced the Green Lantern show, so Diggle had to get the ring, and his stepdad had the Stewart last name, which is what you said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I highly doubt that they're going to use the actor who plays John Diggle in the HBO Max show.
No.
Tanya says, Jordan says Metropol McDoppel McDonald. Then Caleb says the Green Lantern show is not related to the Arrowverse, at least not technically, the multiverse, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, but it's DCEU, so it's not about John Diggle.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark says, oh man, now I'm hungry for a filet-o-fish. We talking about space farts?
I guess. I
All
don't
those space farts?
Michael McDonald. I'm gonna have a filet of fish, and then I'll have some gas on. Man, I can't hit that high note.
Not anymore.
Dang. Sorry. Caleb, I guess I'm struggling with why you're calling it DCEU. Because right now the DC Extended Universe is what is still comprised of what we know of the movies Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Shazam, Wonder Woman 1984 coming up,
Aquaman.
Birds of Prey, and Aquaman. Right? Is that all? Everything?
People don't know if Joker is yet because...
Well, Joker wouldn't be.
Well, because Todd Phillips keeps on saying we don't know what Earth Joker takes place on, so
yeah,
we don't know what that means.
But that wouldn't be considered DCEU. That's not... the DCEU is what's considered that groupings, that world of movies. Whatever Earth that is, that's it.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
No,
that one.
That you know, what you just said just brought me back to Mel Brooks when they were playing darts, and he said, "Nice grouping."
Yeah, no. So, it's a DC, movie, or it's a DC show, but
Mark says upcoming Flash movie, is that DCEU? I assume
yes.
because Ezra Miller.
Yes, because it's a continuation of Ezra Miller's Flash, so that would be DCEU.
Flashpoint.
Which at that point,
his movie is?
It's supposed to be Flashpoint. So at that point, they can actually do a lot of stuff because right now, Robert Pattinson's Batman, as far as you're going to get a lot of different points of debate and rebuttal on that. If you're a DC guy like me, I like the DCEU. Man of Steel to me is one of the best movies ever made. It's one of the best movies. I love Batman v Superman. I think it's more intelligent than people want to give it credit for because they just don't get it. I think that Snyder's movies are a lot smarter than people want to actually spend the time to actually watch them and pay attention, because I think that right now I don't even think it's about the movies themselves. People watch the MCU movies. Look, I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is a lot of fun. Look, the Marvel Cinematic...
with Mark.
Okay, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a lot of fun. There's a lot of great movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe gets a lot of passes for movies that are not that good. There's a lot of movies in the MCU that are not good, and they get passes anyways just because they're Marvel movies.
The only problem I've had with the Marvel movie is Civil War, because that's literally a copy of PBS.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's a copy. Like, I like Civil War as a movie. What I don't like is movies like Thor 2, The Dark World. That's a bad movie. Other examples of it are...
I did that one for Infinity War and Endgame.
Iron Man 3 is bad. It's not good. I'm looking at Captain Marvel is a blah movie. Without being the lead into the Avengers, Captain Marvel does not do $1 billion on its own. If Captain Marvel just came out on its own, Captain Marvel does not do $1 billion. There's no way. Because nobody knows the character, cares about the character. It's because, and I will give them this, it's because they built up trust amongst their own fans, right? And they've built it up to that. But I think people hate on the DCEU just simply because they feel like they have to like one or the other. I gotta like either Marvel or I gotta like DC, and if I like Marvel, I can't like DC, and I can't give DC credit for just being what it is. DC's different. It's more dark. It's rooted in more realism. It's grounded in more stuff. It's different than the Marvel universe, which is more of a popcorn universe. It's more fun. It's just, it's lots of bright colors and everything. Look, and they've won me over with characters that I didn't think that I was gonna like. I look at Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy was. I didn't know what that movie was. I really felt that was going to be the first movie that people bailed on because it had talking trees and talking raccoons. I went to go see it, and I was like, you know what? This is a darn good movie. I really like this movie. But I don't think that you can just hate on the DCEU just because it's dark and brooding.
I like Hawaiian Mark.
What's Mark say?
Mark says
Well, I'm half and half.
apples. Mark says apples and oranges to me, they're both good, but one is better as a sauce and one is better as a Julius. Depends on if I want to chew through my way or through a waxy coating or if I want to get rind on my finger and nails. Jordan says I've had an idea for Batman fan film in the Wild West or Neo West. Caleb said yes, they've stated you're going to have Green Lantern come in a show, and if it's well received, the actor will go into the movies. Jordan says I'm a huge Spider-Man fan and I get very picky about aspects of MCU Spider-Man due to not acknowledging Uncle Ben at all. And then Mark says it's like Harry Potter 8 coming out without having another Harry Potter book or movie before it.
Well, yeah, Mark. Eventually, they're going to do that Harry Potter. They're talking about that Harry Potter movie. Caleb, again, you know I love you.
I've been hearing that same thing that he said with the actor starting in the TV show.
What on the HBO show?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I did kind of hear something about that, but there's been no like definitive. There's talk. There's been a lot of talk, but they don't even have an actor yet. They don't even have a show yet. That's what I guess that's where I'm kind of based in is until we have something. I'm not getting my hopes up about it because we don't have anything yet. We don't have an actor. We don't have a show. We know the show's coming, but we don't know anything. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say what it's built in because what if that show doesn't do well? Then is it not going to be in the DCEU? Then they're just not going to use that actor. Like we just don't know. And what's the point of doing a show if you're going to have to bring them into the movies? That doesn't really make a lot of sense either. What's that?
What?
What'd you say?
I just said it was the quickest Snapchat ever. Mark says Spider-Man 3's secret spoiler, Uncle Ben is actually Magneto.
I'm going to watch that tomorrow. Far From Home.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that's one of the things about MCU Spider-Man that is interesting is that they have not really gotten into the Uncle Ben part of it yet. I don't know if they're going to. I don't know if they need to. They kind of replaced Uncle Ben with Tony. With Tony.
Mark's talking about fruit now. I want some cantaloupe. Because I'm hungry. Tanya said please go check playlist out. What does that mean?
Let's go check playlist out. I don't know. Here's an interesting thing, and we're actually going to do a regular video on this, but we'll mention it here in the chat, talking about DC versus Marvel. So this last week there was a poll done. What?
Jordan says, spoiler alert, the cheesecake is actually the secret weapon to save mankind. Oh, Mark says, I missed how final reaction on Flash. What did you guys think about it? 2 words or less.
2 words or less. Really good. This week's episode is really good. We didn't give our final numbers on.
That's a good setup.
Good setup.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Tiffany,
lots going on.
That's 3. Unless you go, lots go on. Lots go on.
Lots of stuffs.
Lots of stuffs. Lots of, not lots of, lots of.
Lots of stuffs.
What would you give it on a rating 1 to 10? 10 being the best.
You put lots of going on.
Lots going on. Go now. So what would you give it 1 through 10?
Give it an 8.5 to 9 out of 10.
Really? Okay.
It was emotional.
It was very emotional.
You had 2 Wellses within one Wells brain. One negative one trying to take over a Wells, And him having to deal with the death of his daughter, realizing at the end it was my fault. And then the fact that he even came out of it all and he still cried going, it was all my fault.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of emotion from one actor within an actor. It was like a Tropic Thunder.
He was a dude playing another dude disguised as another dude.
Pretty much. So you had that going on. You have Iris in a mirror. Inception.
Never go full speedster.
Exactly. Well, you've also got Iris, you know, the negative Iris, you know, outside of the mirror, and it's like there's all these different like
speed tart.
Pieces going on.
You never go full speed tart.
So.
All right, Isaac, what do you give it?
I'd say a 9.
9, okay.
Because I really like the episode, but still the only thing I said last week is like the only thing that's bugging me is that Barry's still not catching on at all. That's not actually Iris.
When her own dad is like,
he's not
something
even
ain't right here.
He's not even raising an eyebrow. He's just like, okay, and then just doesn't
You're
even
just
think
my
about.
wife.
Yeah, he doesn't think that. Oh, that's not actually Iris.
Yeah.
Even though there's been a handful of times, even in this episode,
Iris is acting out of character.
Yeah, and Barry still hasn't caught on. That's one thing that's still bugging me.
I give it a solid 8. I think it's a solid 8. I think it's a really good, strong 8. A lot of good setup, like you said. A lot of emotional stuff. I actually liked Nash in this episode because I have not liked Nash since they introduced him, and I actually have a use for Nash now. I actually really like the character. I like the fact that he is seeing other Wells. And that's a possible.
And
I
they
love the fact
actually
that we
brought
got
back
to see
season
Harry.
2 Harry.
We got to see Harry. That was awesome. I love the fact that it had Reverse Flash in it because I love Reverse Flash. What was this? I give it a.
The math. I don't like math.
Square root of
67.32 in brackets. Matthew.
Drum roll says.
Mark says it equals an 8.20487659871.
Yeah.
Oh, you got. Hold on.
So
You got
8.2.
You got it. But you got 8.2. 0487658706406.
No, it's 8.204.
Oh, Caleb says, can you read my previous comment?
706406.
You got a different number than he does.
Caleb said, can you read my previous comment, which he said, no, they're doing what the MCU is doing with Disney Plus, but in reverse. The character will star in his own show, but he'll be a supporting character in the movies, and yes, this is not confirmed 100%.
Okay. That, I mean, I could see that if it does well.
And Tanya said, read my before that about the playlist. Scroll up and you'll see the word congratulations. There was a message retracted. And then she talked about the fart cloud parallax. And Mark says, I will confirm what Caleb said 100%.
Tanya, you have a retracted message. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about.
Mark says, what is 100% of 0? Laugh out loud. I have no bias for knowing anything.
Look, it looks like it looks like you have a couple of retracted
messages on ours that we can't see.
Messages that we can't see.
What'd you do?
Seeing if it was on her channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see any more. Mark says I will confirm what Caleb said 100%. What is 100% of 0? I have no basis for knowing anything. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, I was looking for something else, though, because I was looking for...
The comments is, in space, they can't hear you toot.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's the quote of the night.
Can somebody text Landon? I can't text him from this. And tell him that we can't message him until live stream is done. Oh, anyways, what I was saying is is so talking about DC versus Marvel. This week there was a poll done asking who your favorite. There was a bunch of different things. We're gonna get more to it. I got all the parameters because it wasn't just the question of favorite superhero. It was like your favorite comic series. Like it was like a bunch of different things. But the one where they asked who your favorite superhero is, so Marvel wins out as far as favorite company, like DC versus Marvel. Yeah. Marvel wins hands down.
But DC would win in video games, comics, TV shows.
But the interesting thing was when they asked who your favorite superhero is, I was very surprised at the outcome, especially after Endgame. Because after Endgame, everybody was talking Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Right? Iron Man was their favorite, whatever. Here's the interesting thing. Number 5, did you see this thing?
No.
Okay, because we're going to do an actual video about this because there's more to it than this.
More of Animal Crossing for me.
Okay. Number 5, Iron Man. Number 4 was Captain America. Number 3 was Batman. Number 2 was Spider-Man.
Aww.
And number 1, baby, the greatest, the first, the last, the alpha and omega of superheroes, Superman. Superman still won out, beat out all that. So out of the top 3, even though Marvel as an entity wins out over DC, Superman and Batman are 1 and 3. And it was also asked, would Superman beat Batman in a competition? Like in a fight? And everybody said yes, hands down, Superman wins. I think that that's very interesting and telling that people want, Warner Brothers, people want another Superman movie. They're telling you something. When the poll is done and they say that their favorite superhero is Superman.
We do, Tanya.
When it said your favorite,
and Mark.
And Superman beats out all of them with where we're at right now, even, that is telling. That is saying something. That people love Superman. They want Superman to be Superman.
I think they're saying that because we don't get enough Superman.
I got answers.
Besides comics.
Yeah.
And video games.
Well, people are ticked off right now with the Superman comics.
Yeah.
Because Bendis
just came out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm Superman."
Bendis, has kind of messed that up for a lot of people. But I just think it's interesting that that poll restored faith to me in the fact that, you know what, if they make good movies, if they make a good Superman movie, if they gave Henry Cavill the right material.
Awesome, Tanya. Welcome to being a subscriber.
Well, that's awesome.
I got to read you real quick what you said.
Oh.
Because
Tanya came in hot. She was mad at us at first because we weren't showing that screen.
Well,
we won her over. We like Tanya.
Mark said, whose picture is that under the Indiana Jones poster? And 10 plus points to Gryffindor for the Back to the Future picture on the wall. And I said that was the picture is Inash's grandma who raised him.
Yeah.
And
that's my grandma.
Tanya says you're the first in my new playlist.
Aww.
And I said, and Mark says, what playlist is that, Tanya? And then he said, thanks, Tiff, for answering him. Yep. Then Tanya said, streamers that notice me.
Aww.
And then
we like you, Tanya. We're glad to have you.
Caleb says, well, I'll read his in a second because his is longer. Mark says, Superman, question mark, even over Matter Eater Lad. Google it.
Matter Eater Lad. Yes, even over Matter Eater Lad.
And then Tanya just put in all caps, bye, I love you all, and I will see your next video because I subscribed.
Awesome. Thank you, Tanya. Yep, that's my grandmother. That's Grandma Betty. She's awesome.
Mark says...
She's a feisty one, too.
Oh, yeah.
She's still alive.
Mark says, yay, Tanya, for subscribing. And then Mark also says, I already pay $100 in recurring streaming services. I can't afford another until I can start selling blood again. Hashtag stupid virus.
Yep.
And then now back to Caleb. Caleb says, oh, speaking of HBO Max, are y'all going to get it when it launched in May? It's $15 a month, but that comes with a ton of content like all the DCEU movies, all the Superman, Batman movies, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Rooster Teeth, TBS, CNN, and HBO. I think this.
See, I don't know. I like Cable still.
Nice.
There's Matter Eater Lad. He pulled up Matter Eater Lad.
Nice.
Eating the fence.
He's eating the fence.
Eating a fence. So he's our second dog. That's Harley.
Matter Eater Lad's getting down on that fence, isn't he? Yeah. That's a good picture of Matter Eater Lad. I like that picture.
Who's the chick? With the boobs and the face. Why is her face covered?
Because her boobs are revealed.
So is Power Girl.
It's cleavage face.
She's like, cleavage face.
She's got cleavage where her face
is that
should
the
be.
original Jacksepticeye?
It's like the buttocks people on South Park. I have buttocks where my face should be. I have coverage where my face should be and no coverage where my breasts are.
Mark says, I wonder if they'll include the director's cut for the Superman movies.
Look, there's talk. Look, if I'll guarantee you
I'm starting to feel lightheaded. I'll be back in a second.
there is one way. There is one way that for sure I will get HBO Max. If they actually release the Snyder Cut. They keep talking about there's a Snyder Cut.
If they do it, I think that's the way that they will do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like Green Lantern and Watchmen will be enough to get people to get it.
Well, people turned on Watchmen.
Yeah.
People liked Watchmen at first.
As soon as they introduced Dr. Manhattan, everybody just didn't like it.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that yet.
I've been somewhat keeping up on it, like just from like hearing different things and different spoilers. Yeah. As soon as they introduced Dr. Manhattan, that's when it all started going down.
I mean, hearing that list of shows or whatever, TV stations and stuff like that, like I own all the DC movies that I want. I'm kind of ticked at the DC universe. Now look, if they drop DC Universe
and move it to HBO
and move it all to HBO Max, then I'll get HBO Max. But until they do that, I'm kind of ticked at DC Universe for the fact that DC Universe is supposed to be, DC Universe should be Disney Plus. It should be where
Disney
all
Plus for DC stuff.
It should be Disney. It should be Disney Plus for DC stuff. All the DC stuff should be there.
Yep.
That should drive people to DC Universe.
Not have a DC section in HBO.
Yeah, you shouldn't have a DC section on HBO. And I get it, it's because the parent companies and all that stuff, but it's stupid. They need to get it. Disney did it right. I gotta admit, Disney did it right, man. They put it all under one roof. They said, here it is. Watch it. This is the only place you're gonna get it. And they pulled it off of everywhere, man. There ain't nothing on nowhere else. You know, they pulled all their movies off of Netflix, all their movies off of Hulu, everything, man. And they said, look, this is it. If you want it.
And they're gonna put stuff on there early, like they put Frozen 2 on Disney Plus early because of this whole coronavirus.
Yeah. So, but I mean, do I want to watch Green Lantern? Yes. Do I want to pay $15 a month to watch Green Lantern? I don't know yet. I just don't know that I'm sold on that yet.
Yeah.
Did you hear the crazy news story? Tiffany, you got to come back and hear it. Okay, I got a crazy news story that I heard just before I walked in. I'll be right back. Tiffany's going to walk in, and I'll be right back. And share, you're going to want to stay for this because this...
I'm feeling lightheaded and shaky, so I had to
You
grab
talk
something.
about... Remember we were talking about a couple weeks ago about Disney possibly buying DC and how crazy that was? This is even bigger than that. This is even crazier and bigger than that. I'll be right back.
We left off right here. Mark's comment about the thing. We left off right there, so now we're right here with what Jeff said.
Wonder. Superman movies for what?
And then
Streaming?
Caleb said, I'm a big Warner Brothers fan. Plus, it all has a studio. I can't read it from back here.
Ghibli?
Yeah, Ghibli anime movies, which are fantastic, and are getting a monthly selection of classic movies like Citizen Kane,
Casablanca,
and etc. So I'm getting HBO Max. Yeah, I don't really watch any animes unless you want to count Pokemon. But just tell us that in the next video because I'm not here. Amazon is buying Apple, who is buying Disney, who is buying Verizon. Is a media. Turducken.
Turducken?
Yeah. Buy is what Tanya said. And Gabby is awesome. You're starting to sell me on HBO Max.
We will let you know, Tanya.
Mark said that Caleb's starting to sell them on HBO Max.
And he said, dang it. Amazon is buying Apple, who is buying Disney, who is buying Verizon. It's a media turducken.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Inception. Man, the more that he's talking, he's what makes me want to get HBO Max. Dang. That's good stuff.
Yeah, because Watchmen sounds like it's not going to get continued.
Really?
Because as soon as they introduced Dr. Manhattan, everybody didn't like the show.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
There's Swamp Thing in it?
Mm-hmm. Well, not because they didn't have enough money, it's because just the people don't like it towards the end of the season.
Mark says, Caleb will be the reason my cat can't eat good canned food. That's funny. See, my head is shaking.
Perfect for my iPad because my iPad at 25%.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know how much longer it's going to be. I don't know what's today. Tuesday, the
17th.
Yeah, 2 days.
For Animal Crossing?
Yep. Still hoping to do a minute release on that unless the video that I'm about to watch.
Doom, they said, was supposed to come out on
Yeah.
the 31st of this month. Doom
Well,
Eternal.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's what the GameStop people said, but that's not confirmed by Bethesda yet. So I'm
Really?
Yeah, I'm hoping that if, because normally they get that stuff ahead of time before the public does. Kind of like how I think it was before the Switch got announced, or no, it was after the Switch. Like they, like Sarah heard something like at Target once that like what the people are talking about in the tech department, talking about like a new version of the Switch or like a new version of the Wii U. Before the Switch got announced, or before the Switch Lite got announced. So I'm hoping that that's what that is. But I think if Bethesda does say something, it'll be on the launch of Doom Eternal. It'll be like, hey, for you guys that play on Switch or put it on Switch, here's when you get it. Caleb said, we also have all the CW shows a week after they air.
Oh, sweet.
Mark said, It will also do the dishes, wash windows, and finish that last piece of pie you're just too full to eat.
What's that?
They're talking about HBO Max.
Oh.
Caleb's just listing off all the stuff that's on it.
Mark says Ghibli is awesome. You're starting to sell me on the HBO Max, Caleb. Dang it. And then he says Caleb will be the reason my cat can't eat good canned food.
See, now I'll say this. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of great things on HBO Max, but I'll be honest with you, it's a lot of stuff that I already own. So, you know what I mean? Like with the DC Universe, I can justify having DC Universe because there's stuff on there that I don't have. And there's a lot of stuff that I don't have. I can read comics, I can see cartoons and stuff, and we watch Titans, we watch Doom Patrol, we watch all these different things. But like all those movies and all those things, like I already have all those channels on cable already, and I already have all those movies. Like I just watched Citizen Kane. My friend Jordan has Plex, and I just watched Citizen Kane. You know, for the first time. I watched all those classic movies. I like all those classic movies, but we've got a plethora of movies that we own. You know, like, so I don't know that it's not worth it to pay that much money for me.
There we go.
What's that?
Mark says that sounds like Enosh is inviting us all over to watch his collection, so we can just give him $15 a month.
You know what? That big news is me announcing the Poindexter Lounge Network. That's right, the Poindexter Lounge Network. We're gonna find a streaming service and we'll just play all of our video collection. Sound good? We'll just play all of our video collection on a daily basis, and people can just watch it. And like, I don't know how we'll get away with that, but maybe on Facebook. If you give to the Patreon, $15 a month, you get to watch it. We're actually going to do watch movies with us, especially during this whole pandemic, where you can sit and watch a movie. Don't be surprised if I go live at like 2 in the morning one night, and I'm like, hey, watch this movie with me. If you got it. Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Moran says, do it.
Do it. Do it. We can also recreate movies.
Jeff says, I wonder if we'll ever see Gleek in a Flash or Legends episode. Hopefully they'll feature him next season. Otherwise, why tease it in Crisis if you're not going to pay it off?
I think we'll get him
We
in Legends first before anything.
we can do secret things like episode 9.5. Like, have you ever heard the legend of Darth Tasty the Wise? No, Master Skywalker. Who was Darth Tasty? He was this guy who lived in Pittsburgh.
Caleb said Warner Brothers is also considering having comic books, music, and podcasts, so it's just well worth it.
What?
Worth the price for me.
Oh, come on. Are you serious? They're going to put comic books on HBO now? Why? They need to build... No. They need to build that up on DC Network or DC Universe. That's what everybody... So many people who read comic books complain about that on DC Universe, that there's not enough comic books and stuff on DC Universe.
Tasty's in Philly.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't me. Tell Luke. that was a Mike Zero thing, so it was totally wrong. It was completely wrong because it was Mike Zero. Mike Zero was saying that Darth Tasty lived in Pittsburgh. That's right. It's Bruce Jennings that lives in Pittsburgh. Don't judge me.
Chose fruit. You chose whippets.
Sure, find a way to keep her quiet. You like one? Want some, Isaac?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Have you ever? You ever been? Dude, it's amazing. Come here, Isaac. Come here, Isaac. My dogs absolutely love whippets.
Mark says it's the part of the show that isn't for kids.
Come on now. It's not that bad, is it? It could get worse. I could be all like...
Why is that so cold?
I told you, YouTube, we're not for kids. We got no COPPA issues here.
Caleb says they said if they offer comics, music, and books, it will be their entire catalog, every comic, book, song they own. Mark says I'm going to turn that into an animated GIF meme. Darth said that'll keep Kappa off your back.
Right? Exactly.
There's going to be a segment we have called Bring in the Cool Whip.
It's once per episode.
It's like that guy, like, I want to dip my... Sorry.
Once per video, I have to eat whipped cream off your finger. That'll keep Capo at bay. They'll be like, wait, this video's about toys. We're going to find them. Oh, wait. No, you're not. It's just you with whipped cream on your finger.
Hulk Hogan it. It's like Jurassic Park.
Man, I love this channel.
I think you're partial.
I am a little partial.
Mark says clever girl.
Man.
Darth said it would be easier just to swear once.
Yeah. But you know, I hear that doesn't even help because kids swear too much. There's a guy, Junkman, who I really like. I'm subscribed to him, and I watch some of his videos, and he has full-on videos when the whole Kappa thing happened. He has full-on videos where he just swore the entire thing, like kept swearing over and over again. And then my favorite ones, I don't know if he's really drinking. If he's really drinking, there's just no way he could really be drinking. Because he literally sits there with a fifth of whiskey, and the entire video, he's talking about vintage Star Wars action figures while taking shots of whiskey. And I mean, the guy has to do like 20 shots.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, there's no way that's real whiskey. Like at first I'm like thinking,
juice?
He's like really drinking whiskey. And then it's like, he's on shot like 15. Nope. No. There's no way.
Caleb said sorry.
Just for the look.
This seems a little shill. I'm just really excited about it. Jeff said this video is age restricted. Signed YouTube. Mark says not at all, Caleb. You're spreading the love.
Hey, you know what, Caleb? That's fine, man. I mean, like, you know, here's the thing. Is like, if that works for you, if HBO Max works for you, and that's the content that you want, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. You were just asking me if I would get it, and my thing is right now with the content that I've heard is going to be on it, the only thing that really interests me right now is the Green Lantern show, and I don't even know what that is yet, right? And so I can't justify spending $15 a month on one show. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why I don't have. If I was going to do that, I don't know how much CBS All Access is, but there's 2 Star Trek shows on there right now, and I loved Star Trek Next Generation. I really, really, really want to watch Picard. But even though I haven't seen Discovery yet, and there's 2 seasons of that, I think, and now Picard or whatever, you know, I'm kind of waiting until the Picard season's done so that I can go and get like the free week or whatever and watch all of Picard and see what I think about it.
Mark says Picard is good and Discovery is good too.
So, you know, I've heard mixed.
Mark says I'm waiting for Doctor Who streaming service.
I'm very glad to hear that from you, Mark.
And Mark says I love Lamp.
I love Lamp too. Now, do you really love Lamp, or are you just looking at things in the room? I mean, you looked at my grandma.
That just sounds funny.
Do you love Grandma too? I mean, I love Grandma, but I really love Grandma. I love Grandma. You know. You know what else I love? We're looking at stuff in the room. I mean,
Mark says I love Pillow.
I love TIE Fighter. I love South Park Classroom. I love Star Wars pop vinyls.
Caleb says, I can ask my dad if you can use my CBS All Access line.
Caleb.
That's your new best friend.
I love you. I love Dukes of Hazzard. I love Knight Rider. I love Superman. I love Batmobile. Do you love Batmobile? I love Batmobile. Oh, Mark, that's right. I forgot. You're new around here, aren't you, buddy? So this is our living room. Hold on a second here. I got stuff.
Says, good Lord, you have more collectibles than I have grains of rice.
Well, hold on a second, because that's just so talking Star Trek.
Casey says I've actually always wondered who that was myself. I thought it was Grandma Fee. That's why I didn't ask.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, here. Hold on a second. Let's take a little stroll. It's been a while since we've taken a little stroll, hasn't it? This is what we look at when we're looking at y'all. That's what that is. See, right there's the force is strong with this one. It's funny that you say Betty White, because she kind of does look like Betty White a little bit, but her name is Betty. So this is what we're looking at. Got the Star Wars arcade game there.
Golden Girls fan, and he actually is infatuated with Betty White.
I am infatuated with Betty White. You know how, like, when people... Hold on a second. Let me turn this around. You know how, like, when people, like, have their celebrity crush, and they're like, you
Mark
know...
said, whoa, arcade game.
Oh, there's more. There's more. I forgot, Mark, that you were new around here. Every once in a while, I do this kind of, like, around the world kind of thing in our house. But, yeah, Betty White is, like, she's my celebrity crush. Yeah. I love me some Betty White. But yeah, here's some Batmobile stuff from back in the day. It's a little dusty in here right now. But then we got Star Trek stuff going on back here. Got the Borg taking over. Got some craziness going on in there. Looks like everybody got knocked over. I think the dogs did that. I got
Or you guys throwing the blankets back.
yeah, I got some YouTubes, or not YouTube. I got who's that? Rick and Morty, that kind of stuff. There's the TIE Fighter. There's that.
Mark said, Hubert.
Over here we got some pop vinyls.
I'm a YouTube noob.
Jeff, yeah, we're getting there, buddy.
Jeff says there's a room full of collectible toys.
Tiffany's a big Queen fan.
Mark said Pickle Rick.
It's all right, Caleb. It's all right, man. I actually have another friend that I think is actually going to let me do that. These are some cool things that we picked up. It's like the music to Back to the Future, music to Indiana Jones. We got the Star Wars theme here. Tiffany, this is all Tiffany's stuff, by the way. Tiffany like got all this stuff. So this is me when I was a baby. This is my mom. And this was my grandmother. I lived in Las Vegas, and I was born in Las Vegas. And my grandma was in the entertainment industry and stuff. And I look the same, right? Exactly, Mark. Exactly. And this is my grandma today. And she is a beautiful lady. She's a wonderful lady. She raised me and my two sisters because, unfortunately, my mom had some issues with drugs and alcohol. But I love her. She's no longer with us. She passed away a few years ago. But yeah, my grandma raised me and my two sisters. And so here's just some stuff that we got. This is just some collectibles over here. A lot of people have curio cabinets that have china in them or like precious moment stuff or whatever. And we've got like Mego figures and Mork and Mindy and that Superman and Lois there are salt and pepper shakers. Got some Weird Al stuff. There's a Rick and Morty thing right there. Some old Star Trek figures there. Got a couple Transformers and see, it's Gizmo Pop and the DeLorean. And then down here, I can get this going right. We got Tiffany's a big fan of Alice Cooper, who is supposed to be at our Comic-Con here in a couple of months.
They canceled Logan's DC trip in May, so they may cancel.
Did they cancel? They haven't canceled our Comic-Con yet. But then, of course, here we got some Freddy Krueger stuff. Because
Mark says, what is the red thing on the second down shelf on the left?
that right there?
It's really familiar to me.
Yeah, that's, what is that? That's what is that called?
You don't know what it is and you bought it?
Yeah, no. Oh, it's Merlin. It's right there at the top. It's a game from the late 70s, early 80s. Oh, don't worry, Mark. We're getting there, buddy. Because this is just what's in our overflow. This is just the overflow stuff in our living room. So we got Voltron up here. Pretty much, Jeff. That's what we are. Here's the music to Smallville. Over here we got Space Ghost, Rocky, some Family Guy stuff, Tron back there. Got some Smallville figures here. I actually have Clark, but Landon, my son, bought a Clark, and he got it in the package, and he traded me because I had Clark out of the package, and so he traded it for me since he was going to open his. I figured I could have one in. Got some Ghostbusters.
Jeff says, basically the house is a nerd museum. Grandma looks young up close.
Thank you.
Mark says, I love me some Tron.
Absolutely. Here's some Indiana Jones stuff down here. Right there. And then, see, this is the kind of stuff we have on our coffee table. The DC Comics Encyclopedia. That's, people ask us all the time, like how we have all this, knowledge of stuff. And it's just because it's what we do. We're big nerds. We are absolutely big nerds. So I'll take you through the house a little bit here. So here's some stuff I just haven't got to yet. This is a cool figure that I just got here. It's a Jim Lee Superman figure, and it comes in this case here. If I can get this open with one hand, I'm trying to do. It's put together with a magnet, and it's this cool. I think it's like black and white, and it comes with this little book and sketch of Superman. You can get the full color one at GameStop right now. But I dig that. I just got some stuff. Some of this stuff I haven't opened yet because I want to do some reviews on it. Even though it's older, like this is a Crisis Superboy that is stuff that I like. All right, Caleb. Love you, man. Here's that Clark that I was telling you about. Got a Darth Revan over there. Hey, Darth Tasty, you still around, buddy? It's a Primal Rage Bizarro that I just picked up. Here's a cool Superboy figure that I just picked up. It's pretty cool. And I got this old retro Supergirl. This is just stuff that I got that I haven't actually done anything with yet. But now I'll take you down the hallway. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I could show you. You were asking about Grandma Fee. This is my great Grandma Fee right there. That's Flora Irene Fee. That's who that is.
You also have a picture of Grandma in Vegas singing.
Oh yeah. Where is that? Is that upstairs?
Towards your office.
Is that down the hall? There's Tiffany in her blue hair phase. Trying to think here. There's my grandma. That's not Grandma Fee. That's my grandma that raised me. That's Grandma Fee when she got older. That's me and her. Me in my Superman shirt. And see, I'm trying to see if there's anything. See, there's me in my Batman shirt, my Batman underoos, and my Superman underoos. That's Landon when he was born. He was sporting the Superman outfit there. There's Logan. And there's Isaac. There's Isaac 1 Kenobi right there. Cute kid. All right. Now, the time has come, Mark. The room is kind of messy. I got a bunch of stuff I got to put away. But here, real quick. A little close up there. This is when we met Tom Welling a couple years ago. This is last year when we met Brandon Routh. I'm trying to think what else here. Okay. So we met Margot Kidder. This is, let's see. Oh, that's a couple guys here. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yeah, Dean Cain. See, where's Dean Cain? Dean Cain's right here. Dean Cain was so awesome. That guy was so awesome to us. It's not even funny. There's Roddy Piper. There's John Wesley Shipp. That was this was the first, at the end of the first season of The Flash that we met him, and he spoiled the final episode for us, and we loved every minute of it. And then there's John Schneider. There's Marianne. Spaceballs crew. There's what's his name? From Terminator 2. Here is when we met what's the guy who played Penguin? Robin Lord Taylor. He was super awesome. He spent like so long with us. You could tell like he's just like talking to us and laughing with us, joking. He was a little guy though. Real little guy. Met LeVar Burton. Michael Rooker played Yondu. Anthony Michael Hall. I'm trying to think who else is it. Oh, of course, Ric Flair. Woo! We met Allison Mack before all that stuff went down with her. She was a little strange even then, but we met Allison Mack. We met the Comic Book Men. That was pretty awesome. Ming Chen actually ended up tweeting about us, which was pretty cool. And then we met Mrs. McFly herself. I know, right, Mark? Like, she was my favorite, man. Back in the day, she was so awesome. We're rewatching Smallville with the boys. We're halfway through season 7 right now. And, it's such a shame. It really is such a shame that all that stuff happened because, like, even as a huge Superman fan, I kept, like, wishing that Clark would get with her. I mean, but it's a shame. That's all I can say. Yeah, we've, and we don't even have photos up. We met Betty from Revenge of the Nerds. She was super nice. That was a little awkward though. Like it's weird. It's weird when you meet somebody that you saw parts of them when you were young, whatever. What is. So here is the workshop. Now it's pretty messy because I got a bunch of toys set up that I had not put away yet. But are you ready? Dun 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 and on. This is The Room. I used to do some episodes of some different things from The Room, but I haven't lately just because, like I said, I got some stuff that I got to put away. I got some stuff here in the middle that I got to put away and get taken care of. But I'll take you on a quick little thing. Here is some of my DC stuff. I got more stuff at my office, but I just kind of reorganized this shelf. It's a lot of the DC EU stuff, as you can see. And then here's some of some stuff from last year's, some Superpower stuff. Found this really cool Lois Lane figure. That's kind of cool. Here's our stuff from the shows that we watch here on the channel. It's a King Shark there and all these guys. All the Shazam family, some wrestlers back there. I love the Ultimate Warrior. Some Rick and Morty figures. Got a couple things still from, got this Batman here and Dukes of Hazzard stuff, whatnot. Got an old lightsaber, some other stuff here. Yep, this is where it's all at, man. This is where it's all at, brother. So I got some ships hanging up, as you can see. See, where should I start? So I got some cabinets down here. These cabinets light up, by the way. But let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. There we go. So you can see in there, got some different, lucky that it doesn't get earthquakes, right? Just some stuff, man. This is just stuff that I've loved ever since I was a kid, and so here I've got this. But I'm extremely cheap. If you're going to sell everything, I mean every single one of those collectibles, how much will all be? Darth Tasty, you're right, man. I'm starting to get to that point. You know what, man? I really have no idea. I've been collecting now for about 20 years, and so honestly, I have no idea. Honestly. I buy the stuff that I like, and I'm extremely cheap. Like this USS Flag here, this aircraft carrier. Like I spent $200 for this thing, which is crazy insane because this thing goes for a lot more. And I don't know, man. It's just, it is what it is. I got a couple of mask things. You can see down here. Got a Captain Power thing. Let's see if the window's kind of blocking it there. Got some Hot Wheels there. Got the Royal Naboo, the A-Team. Got General Lee signed. Right, Mark? Yeah, man. And that's the crazy thing, man. It's like I find these deals on stuff that it's like insane. Like the Thunderhawk there. I mean, that thing goes for usually like $60 somewhere. I got it for like $20. It's just crazy. Got another mask thing there. I got a Silver Hawk. Actually, I got a better Quicksilver down here, but I found the one with the Hawk, with Tally Hawk, and so I got that. Here's another mask thing that I gotta put the wheel back on. This was one of my grails for a long time. This big Millennium Falcon. This Geonosis playset I got for like $5. I got Galaxy. I don't have any Galaxy Rangers. I was not really into Galaxy Rangers as a kid, so nope, I don't have any of those. But I got a bunch of the G.I. Joe stuff back. Here's another mask thing that I got there. And then I've got all of my Star Wars stuff set up in movies. So like this top shelf here is Return of the Jedi stuff, as you can see. Gotta go back up in here. It's Return of the Jedi stuff. This is Expanded Universe stuff. So this is like Grand Admiral Thrawn. There's Mara Jade. There's Dark Empire figures right there. There's the Darth Bane I was talking about a couple weeks ago. But everything is in scenes, Here's some more Return of the Jedi stuff. Here's my Episode 8 stuff. But I got the Rathtar there because I didn't have enough room on the Episode 7 shelf down here. Some Episode 8 stuff. You can see I got it all, you know, set up like that. Here's A New Hope. All that stuff up through there. And I got this Jabba set up, Jabba's Palace, complete with the band. Six-boobed woman. Got this Star Destroyer set up here. My episode 2 stuff is around the side here. I'm getting ready. I've got a bunch of Stranger Things. I got all the Stranger Things season 1 figures back here. You can see they're kind of behind there because when I put up this aircraft carrier, it blocked all that. But I mean, I got a place for it now finally. Let's see, G.I. Joe headquarters, all that stuff. Over here, oops. If I go back this way, so I got some lightsabers. I'm actually moving these lightsabers into the living room because Tiffany said I could. We're gonna do a display since we went to Disney and built our own lightsabers. I'm gonna move some of the lightsabers into there. Let's see. See, I got here some Black Series figures that I just have not hung up yet. Darth Tasty, here's that wave that we were talking about. With all the different, there's Chopper. There's that one from the comic books. Here's that guy from The Mandalorian. There's the Superman from Injustice. But here is my Empire Strikes Back shelf. Some classic figures. There's Rogue One. Got the glasses in the back, the Burger King glasses from back in the day. There's Rebels. There's a carbon freeze chamber. Some Jaws stuff. I just got some random stuff up there. Here is episode 1. So you can see it just kind of tells a story all the way through. Episode 1 up to about right there where they're fighting. And what happened to Qui-Gon Jinn? Oh, that's right. Qui-Gon Jinn's in the other room. That's right. I took that Qui-Gon Jinn out. Got some Darth Mauls there. Here is the Clone War cartoon figures. And then up on here, I got the Dagobah playset over here. But then I got episode 3 right there. As you can see, there's the do it moment. Episode 3. Hello there. So it's treason then. Good night, Landon. Love you, buddy. Then Darth Vader moment. Up here, I got some troopers from The Rise of Skywalker. And this stuff is from Solo. So Rise of Skywalker. You know, Rise of Skywalker wasn't what I wanted it to be. It's not, I don't know. I got to see it again when it comes out on video. I saw it twice in the theater. I liked it better the second time than I liked it the first time. The first time I literally walked out angry. But that's because I'm a big fan of The Last Jedi, and I really felt that they retconned too much of that. Here's some stuff from Solo. Yeah, Mark, it was just a better experience the second time. I had to look at it through different eyes, you know? And once I saw it through that way, it still wasn't it's still not my, obviously it's not my favorite episode. Empire Strikes Back will always be my favorite Star Wars movie, but it just, I don't know, it's there, right? But I have to, I stand by my own words. It moved so fast, and I felt like they didn't fully get into some of those stuff. I'm rarely the type of person that says, you know what, you should space things out over 2 movies. But I really felt that they needed to space that out over 2 movies. And they just didn't. This is the Black Series wall. I've kind of run out of room for Black Series on the Black Series wall because it goes from top to bottom. I may have to, Oops, I kind of lost you guys for a second, I know, because my phone was going to 10% there. I don't know what's going on here. May have to change this thing out here in a minute. But that's the Black Series wall. I'm kind of running out of room on the Black Series wall, but I think I got planned to continue it up here when I move the lightsabers, and then possibly on that far wall over there. And then I'll show you just a couple more things here, and then we'll go back in the other room. Here, hold on a second. So this is my Terradrome. My G.I. Joe stuff here. Got some random stuff. Here is some stuff, guys. So I got this. I got to name these figures. I got this when we were on our trip. Yeah, that's what I plan on doing, Darth Tasty. I plan on, because I already got a couple of figures up here. See, like you can see, there's Luke from episode 8, and I got that San Diego Comic-Con Boba Fett, and then I got a Knight of Ren over here. So I'm gonna continue them up here along there when I get it out. But when Tiffany and I just went to Galaxy's Edge, I made this guy right there, and then I also made this guy at the Droid Factory, but I gotta name them, so I don't have names for them yet. I gotta do that. Here are some of the things, you know, like a lot of you guys know Bruce Jennings here on the channel. He makes figures. I'll show you some of his other work, but this is one of his crystal hologram version Boba Fett's, which I love that. Here's his vintage Darth Vader. Mark II D2. Nice, I like it. Here is his Princess Leia hologram. There she is. Here is this one he made specifically for me. Apparently he hasn't made any more of these, but it is the Emperor. These are really cool. He makes the card back and everything. And then he also made this for me, which is a yak face. It's pretty cool. We got some. These are the newer He-Man stuff. This is not the old stuff. My favorite Star Wars character has got to be Luke. Got some Stranger Things stuff there. There's my Kylo Ren lightsaber. There's gold figures. I got all the gold figures, but I got to get them all up. Some more stuff there. Yeah, I'd have to say Luke. Han is a close second, but you know what? I say that, but there's only one figure that I army build, and that, of course, is Boba Fett. I collect vintage Boba Fett figures. So anytime somebody wants to send me a Boba Fett figure, you can send me a Boba Fett figure. I collect them all. I take them all. That white one there is how I met Bruce. He sells those on eBay, and I got that from him. And I don't care what condition they're in. I just got one without any arms, and I still love it. Got some more Tron figures here. Got the new ones there, the big ones, 7-inch ones. And then some of the old figures. This is all Bruce's stuff here that Bruce made me. He made me one of those multicolored Darth Vader's prototypes. And then he made all these white figures here where you can actually paint them yourself. So you can get one of those Boba Fett's and you can actually paint it yourself. And that's cool. And then he made this figure. That one's supposed to be me. That's supposed to be me. He sent that to me. So it's pretty cool. Hair's a little longer now, but that's okay. And then just some random stuff. And then some more G.I. Joe stuff right there. Another Falcon there. Slave 1. The Falcon from Solo. And a Y-Wing. There's a better shot of that Boba Fett. Boba Fett, you know, that's my name on my screen name is Nash Fett. And I'm just a big Boba Fett fan. I love Boba Fett. I always have. So that is that's the toy room. So so when you see me doing, oops, hold on a second here, let me turn that off. When you see me doing toy reviews and stuff, I know a little thing about toys because I love toys, and I've been collecting toys for a long time, and pretty much all my work as a musician goes to pay for this stuff. Did you like his treatment in the Clone Wars series as a boy? Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's a hard subject for me, Boba Fett in the Clone Wars. I respect it because it is canon. It is what it is. But I'm sorry, that's dingling here and making noise. I respect it because it is canon, but it's not my favorite thing about Clone Wars, to be honest with you. Just, you know, there's stuff about it that I like, and there's stuff about it that I don't like. Let me just put it that way. I think that the way that they introduced him in episode 2 really damaged the character for a lot of people. That's why a lot of people nowadays, they hate on Boba Fett. And I don't understand the hate on Boba Fett, to be quite honest with you. But they do. They hate on Boba Fett. And it's sad because Boba Fett's a cool character. I mean, I know that they hadn't really fleshed him out, and there's a lot of people who don't understand why people like Boba Fett, like me. But I think it's like the same thing. Nobody really cares for, I don't think, 10-year-old Darth Vader. 10-year-old Anakin Skywalker is not the interesting version, right? You know, yes, Mark, you're right. It has to be more than just, you know, the angry kid, yeah, whose dad died. I totally agree with that. There needed to be something more there. Like, I really wish that they had gotten the opportunity to tell the story of, like, why him and Han have the conflict that they have, you know. I think that would have been a lot more interesting than a lot of the things that we got. But we're going to have to wait for that. You know, originally they were going to do a Boba Fett movie. And then it got, you know, canceled, put on hold. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to sit the thing down. I got this all on a tripod. So it got put on hold, you know, and now we're where we're at. And now you got The Mandalorian, which is fine. But how cool would it have been if The Mandalorian had actually been Boba Fett, you know? And we got to see his story play out. I don't know. Like I said, lots of things that we wish, lots of things that could have been better, but they are what they are. And so that's how you got to take Star Wars. You can't get upset about everything. You can't, you know, too many people get butthurt over Star Wars because things don't turn out exactly the way they want them. It's Star Wars, and I'm still going to love it no matter what, right? You know, I've got young Boba Fett action figures. You know, I've got young Anakin Skywalker action figures, even though I think it's dumb to hear Darth Vader say stuff like "we" and "try spinning, that's a good move," and "oops" and stuff like that, you know. It's where I love George Lucas, but I think that sometimes he really kind of shot himself in the foot sometimes trying to tell stories that didn't need to be told. I really think that episode 1 should have started with Anakin being about the age that he was in episode 2. I think it would have been, would have made more sense. But, you know, we got what we get. And like you said, it's a buffet. There's a lot there. So you pick what you like. You know what? You don't have to take everything. I didn't really care for Resistance. It wasn't my favorite thing. But it's there. And it's fine that it's there. It's okay. You know? I'm always going to love Star Wars, no matter what. Everything that comes out doesn't have to be my favorite. You're going to find something else. All these people who dropped off of Star Wars and acted like because they didn't like, you know, The Last Jedi, that they were going to boycott it and hate it forever and everything. And then, you know, they had to damage Solo, which Solo is a good movie. There's nothing wrong with Solo. I mean, when I say there's nothing wrong with it, I understand that there's inherently something wrong with everything, apparently. But just the fact that it's a good movie, right? It's a decent movie, and people just destroyed it. Just for the sake of destroying it because they didn't like The Last Jedi. And then they did the same thing to The Rise of Skywalker before it even came out and was able to either stand or fall on its own merits. There were people who just wanted to destroy that as well. Then all of a sudden The Mandalorian comes out and they're just like, oh, The Mandalorian's great. But then they want to, you know, bash Kathleen Kennedy for everything. But in reality, I mean, she's still producing, and I know that there's all these rumors and stuff. But again, I don't go off of rumors. I try to go off of what's actually there. And the reality is she's the president of Lucasfilm, so you got to take the good and the bad, right? You can't just say, well, I didn't like all this stuff that she did, so she's horrible. But this stuff that I liked, obviously she's not responsible for that, because ultimately she's responsible for everything because she is the president of Lucasfilm, at least for now. So you got to take the good with the bad, you know. And if there's something on the table that you don't like, leave it for someone else. Someone else will pick that up and like it, and it's okay that they like it, you know. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Resistance, but when people tell me that they really liked Resistance, I don't hate on them for it. I don't tell them that they're stupid or they don't understand Star Wars because of it. And then also the same thing with like The Rise of Skywalker. When people tell me, I love The Rise of Skywalker, it's the Star Wars movie I ever wanted. I may not be able to relate with that, but I'm not going to tell somebody they're stupid and that they don't understand Star Wars because they like something Star Wars. How does that make any sense? You know, people are living in their own fan fiction, I think, too many times. And if something doesn't happen the way that you want it, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means wait till something else comes out that you like. Right, Isaac? All right, guys. Well, hey, this was fun tonight. Glad I was able to take you guys around the house again. It's been a while since we've done that. And so welcome, Mark. Exactly. Star Wars does. It has a better winning percentage than it does the negative things. And that's why we're still talking about it to this day. You know, it's over 40 years old. You know, what is it, 43 years old now? And we're still talking about it. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, right? You know? And so it's Star Wars. Star Wars is just Star Wars. Live it, love it, whatever. And I know I will. So I hope you guys do too. It's a good evening tonight. Thank you guys for watching The Flash with us. We got a lot of videos to make coming up here in the next couple of days about just different stuff and rumors and fun stuff too. We're continuing our series of things we love about the Man of Steel. And I think I'm going to turn that into a series. What do you guys think about like turning that into a series about different things, not just the Man of Steel? I want to share some more things about Superman that I love. But if there are things that you would like to see us do videos on, I think I'm just going to call it What We Love About ... And give us suggestions, and we'll do a video about just random things that we love, that you guys love, and talk about it, all right? That's about it for tonight. Good night, Tiff! Tiff says good night. We will be back live, yes, on Friday night for Clone Wars, so join us then. Usually we go on, this week we might go on early because I don't have to stay so late, my work responsibilities. So maybe about 8 o'clock. If we go earlier, we may even go earlier if I get home earlier. If I do, we'll post it obviously that we're going to go live, but we definitely will be live on Friday night for more Clone Wars. I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of this season shapes up for Clone Wars for sure. All right, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Always love hanging out with you guys. Gonna go wash my hands, yes, and make sure that we don't get sick around here. I hope that you guys all stay safe and clean, and you know, that you guys found some toilet paper. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Nash Vet. Have a wonderful night. Say goodbye, Isaac.
Bye.
All right, guys.